the way I would put it is like Roadhog was a more fair Widowmaker. Like that's that's
A more fair Widowmaker.
yeah. Like actually, that's the way I would put it. That's the way I would put it because you could interact with Roadhog. Like Roadhog is huge.
That better be the clip right at the beginning.
Hello. Good evening, good morning, good ever, what the fuck it is. Hi, we have a pretty stacked episode today. It's been a little while. And we also have a lot of people here, so I guess we should start by going down the list.
Yeah, what part of us said, like, yeah, let's have everyone on?
It just happened to work out.
It just happened to work out.
Everybody is here.
Yeah. We have
the whole crew.
Yeah, so Jazz is here.
Hi.
Ian is here.
Hello.
Ian has not slept in like 3 days.
Spiritually or mentally, he is somewhere else, but...
Ines is here.
Hello.
And Proto is here.
What's up, losers?
So good luck fitting all that on a single screen, Jazz.
Yeah, this is gonna be fun for me anyway. But sure, listen, I've done worse, haven't I?
Yeah, you have. So, oh boy, we've got, like, Jazz put together a whole list of the stuff we need to talk about, and this is like,
I have to say, like, you can flash up the screenshot if you want.
Yeah.
Up for the viewers. I picked the highlights since we last been on the podcast. These are just the highlights of what's been going on. It has been insanely busy in terms of Overwatch, like news and things happening and things being announced, things being added into the game. So I did my best.
Ian would know.
Ian would know. He's done like he hasn't left his room in several days.
It's true.
make sure to drink water, buddy. I just like...
I have been doing that, but I have not been eating.
Oh no.
Ian, that's even worse.
Fine. If you drink enough water, you don't feel it.
No, Ian, go. No, okay, everyone pause the fucking podcast.
No.
Ian, go get toast. Get toast or something,
Oh,
please.
it's fine. I had a bit of toast, actually. That's why I was like...
Okay, see, he's good. He's good.
He can
That's
survive.
not good.
We'll be fine.
He's a robot. Don't worry. Why does he even need food?
See? Proto gets it.
Ian
Thank
Ian
you.
is sustained by pain.
Yeah, Ian was just simply not oiled up and charged up all the way. That's it.
Anyways, first topic on the list here is BlizzCon and the new heroes. This is the topic. BlizzCon is the reason why Proto is here, because Proto actually got himself out there to Anaheim, which is
Went to BlizzCon.
ridiculous.
It was a bit of a pain, and I guess you could edit over, but you might as well show some of the pictures of me over there. I had a good time, despite the security and some of the staff member being kind of assholes towards me, especially during the registration. That wasn't
Really?
fun. Yes. I mean, hell, I was just simply trying to take a picture of the building itself. It was like, hey, no photos. Like, what? It's just a building. There's nothing secretive. But, yeah, I'll just say it was pretty weird seeing some of the creators I've been watching for years in the flesh.
Yeah, you in a surprise twist, you saw one of the devs, Dion, and also in a surprise twist, Michael Chu himself.
Michael Chu was there?
Yeah.
Michael Chu
Yes.
was there.
I ran into him. I was even his photographer in that one tweet.
Why?
Yeah, you can show the picture on screen right now.
Why was
actually.
Michael
Yeah.
Chu
Yes, through
there?
the magic of editing. Ooh.
Ooh.
He's not an Overwatch
at
dev
that.
anymore. What the fuck is he doing there?
Well, that's the thing. I
There,
kind of want
there are
to
some former devs that were over at BlizzCon.
Bro.
I was just about to say this particular BlizzCon, something about Mauga really brought back the old crews on Twitter and also at this BlizzCon in particular. And I'm very surprised by it.
Can anyone
But
say...
A lot of them would have probably worked on Mauga to some capacity
Yeah.
before they left.
Yeah.
Can
Like,
any...
Well, I mean, they were working on it
Since
For
Sigma.
Sigma's release, so
Yeah.
they must have worked on this iteration of them.
Can anyone confirm if the man himself was there?
Which one?
Nope, I did not hear any reports or sightings of Jeffrey Russell Wilson Kaplan III.
Fuck.
And if he
Alright.
was,
Yeah, me
he
neither.
would have been encrypted mode.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
I did see AA Ron, if that helps.
I know you also saw Marbler, which is kind of funny.
Marbler, yeah, Marbler, Flats. I was mostly actually in a group. We called ourselves the PP Lounge, which PP stands for Portal Pass.
Oh.
Of course it does. Of course it does.
Come on, it was a good name.
And of course it is, because you were mature adults.
Yeah, and we all spent like $800 each to get in there.
Oh, fuck off.
Yeah.
Yeah.
PP is very expensive these days.
Ian and I were considering going, but then it was like, fuck that.
$800 and a plane ticket? Nah.
And like
I even
hotel
went
and
in.
stuff like that. Like,
Yeah, I would have gone if Blizzard had covered all my expenses like they did in 2019, but they didn't this year, so I was like, I'll stay home.
and get to play
Man.
It
Mauga.
worked out because I got to stream Mauga for 15
Yeah.
hours straight.
Speaking of Mauga, let's talk about that, man. It's
Yes, because we have an entire section about the BlizzCon heroes, which were all announced. So naturally, we to the surprise of absolutely no one, Mauga was announced, but to the surprise of literally everyone, I think even including staff members at BlizzCon, 3 other heroes were also announced.
well, 2 were announced. One was like shown off kind of Sigma style, where it was like, is this intentionally shown?
One of them was being encrypted.
Yeah.
Well, that's the thing. I mean, we could briefly talk about it. That like we have this unknown tank, which is just basically an icon, but it's a very strange icon. It looks kind of like a weird creature rather than like an actual character or human or even Omnic.
Yeah, I think they confirmed that like when a hero is in like development, they sometimes have like a cartoon icon of the character. So like
Caricature.
yeah, like a caricature.
Yeah.
So like
Well, they look like they have flesh at the very least.
well, but like the one they had for one of the heroes' venture was like actually just the meme image, like the pointing image. Like it was actually just that meme.
They even did one for Lifeweaver, which I put in the chat.
Yeah.
It's a really good one.
So exactly, it's there's a lot to talk about there, but first we should talk about the giant Samoan himself. Mauga is amazing.
They did it, guys. They've revived Overwatch. The perfect format now exists. Go play No Limits, all Mauga. It's the best way to play Overwatch.
Like
I can't
actually,
believe they revived interest in Overwatch with a guy who was technically made in Overwatch 1.
like
Ooh.
actually, like he's such a fun character in every sense of the word. Like his personality is so ridiculous. Like it's so sadistically insane, but also cheery. It's like he's like, I'd say he's almost scarier than Reaper. Like I don't
My
know.
poodle is also scarier than Reaper. Like, what are you talking about?
No, like
Like Reaper's not really threatening, to be fair.
no, but like in terms
He's
of
a bit too edgy to be scary.
but that
One of those edgy teenagers you see in school.
but that's what I'm saying.
Crawling in my skin, you know, that kind of vibe.
But that's or like I'd say he's even scarier than Doomfist. Like he's like the fact that he's like so cheery and just like nonchalant about like slaughtering millions is like terrifying. And afterwards he just like grabs a drink and plays music on his radio. Like it's kind of wacky.
I mean, I'd hang out with him, so.
Yeah, I'm sure you would. I would
Fucking
not.
crush my skull.
Yeah, I would not hang out with him. He's like too much of a loose cannon. He'd just like do something. He'd just like blow up a building, and I'd be associated with it.
I think the funniest thing to happen in regards to Mauga is for some reason, well, I mean, we saw in the actual animated shorts, which we will get to, about Sombra essentially going on a mission, how much she really hates him. It is very, very funny and amusing to me.
Yeah, because he just like ruins every single plan just by the fact that he's just like his own thing.
I think it's very funny on the outset because you'd think that Sombra and Mauga would actually get along, but I think it showcases that Sombra is a very good judge of character in terms of who to trust and who not to trust. She knows not to trust Mauga. She knows he's not to no good. So while he's like charming and smoozing, she can kind of see through it. So it's very, very interesting. And I think seeing more of those Talon, I think the Talon characters are always just so good. And I think, in fairness, Overwatch does villainy so well.
Yeah.
All the villains are either fantastic or at the very least fun. I don't think they've had a dud,
No, they haven't. Like, I'd say the closest that they've gotten to a dud with like Talon characters is like Reaper, and that's like you can't really blame them because that was like the first one.
Just a fucking guy.
He's just
I don't know.
He's just an
I
edgelord.
think Reaper's underrated. I think you're selling him short.
I tend to agree.
Did you see how he almost killed Mauga in the animated short?
Yes, straight up, he was about to murk him.
Actually, no. I'm gonna tell you right now. When I saw that image, I was like, Reaper, you don't want to do that. Like my first thought was like, oh, that's a mistake.
Well, like, what could Mauga realistically do?
Tear his head off.
Have a head. That's the point.
It's tears it and
vape
eats it.
himself.
He is the vape.
Like from what we've seen from Mauga, just like in that one short, Mauga would fucking like turn on a ceiling fan or something like that, and just like suck that man into the ventilation. Like he would find some ridiculous way. He's just such a like cunning lunatic. I don't know.
But I don't know. No, I kind of disagree with the notion that Reaper is maybe the weakest because I think
weakest? No.
No, as in terms of like both character or in terms of like the dud, because I think Reaper is just a case of he has so much lore as Reyes, and we haven't seen that much of him as Reaper. I think that's because of the fact that Overwatch has struggled to have a developing story. So a lot of things that make Reaper very interesting is in his past as Reyes, and the thing is that now, this is going in conjecture, granted. I think a lot of the Reaper stuff is more like spoilery that they want to keep for later on for like actual stories and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Which is unfortunate, but I don't think that makes him a weak character.
Okay, so who do you think is the weakest Talon character?
Moira, probably.
Okay.
What?
Yeah, I mean, to be fair, I've also said this multiple times. I don't think it's
Widowmaker, though? He's got like nothing going on.
Yeah, I'd say Widowmaker is even a more extreme case than Reaper in the sense that you just mentioned.
True, because her
The character is my character got murdered.
True, because her whole shtick is basically like, oh yeah, I murdered my husband, and like even in that, it's kind of like a footnote. So to be fair, maybe Widow. I think with Moira, it's just a case of we've gone through this again and again. That I think they realized what kind of themes they were accidentally walking into with Moira, and they were like, oh god, we gotta walk back real quick, and that's unfortunately means Moira is she doesn't get to do a lot in terms of the story or progression. So I love her as like the gay aunt who's very sassy, you know what I mean? But I suppose like with Widowmaker, yeah, there isn't really much going on with her. So to be fair, yeah, maybe Widow.
Anyway, yeah, Mauga is oh boy. Just beyond his character, like, in a story sense, like, playing Mauga is, like, addicting.
To you.
It's just ridiculously addictive.
Yeah, you wouldn't stop one-tricking him.
It's
controversial take.
It's, like, so addictive. I just tape down the fire button, and things melt. It's like the old days of Bastion, except instead of a beeping and a booping, I'm listening to just this giant man laugh like a lunatic. It's so good. It's perfection. No other way to put it.
You need to know about Astro, and that's if he can hold a button down, he will.
Oh yeah,
now he gets to hold 2 buttons down.
Exactly.
If he can walk, if he can hold button down and walk, he'll be happy.
And like,
That's
He doesn't
Astro.
even need to walk, honestly. If
No.
he can hold buttons down, he's having a time.
as long as the enemy is like just disintegrating in front of me and I'm holding down a button, it's just the best time. It's simple, you know. I'm not complicated.
This I have not been brushed up on. Didn't he receive buffs recently?
Oh, he got
for-
giga buffed.
Okay.
Oh.
Does anyone want to like now this part I have not been privy to just yet. So would you guys mind taking the floor?
Yeah, so
What exactly has changed?
so his charge can no longer be stopped by hack.
Okay.
He has, I think, 50% damage resistance while charging now.
Yep,
Instead
that's
of
right.
40.
Yep. His ammo is increased to 350. They reduced the fire rate of his guns while firing both, but they increased the damage, so it actually doesn't make much of a difference. And let's see, they
Changed his health, so they replaced his base health with 150 armor and 350 HP, so he's a lot more survivable.
Let's see. Actually, no, isn't it? He has what, 650? So
Yeah.
yeah, okay. They also reduced the spread when he's firing both guns.
Thank goodness. That didn't feel good to use at BlizzCon.
Yeah. It feels like they reduced how many bullets you need to land to ignite, but
I think they did.
yeah.
Yeah, they did.
So that's
That, and they made it's mostly just number increases, just general number increases. They increase the
Gotcha.
amount you
So it wasn't
get the life steal.
anything- It wasn't as crazy as everything with like Life Weave.
No.
Changes
Oh,
between
no.
his and
No, and
his.
it's also not as crazy as the Soldier and Kiriko launch.
Yeah,
he's,
Gotcha.
he's like,
Gotcha.
all right.
they
I wanted to vibe check because I didn't know how drastic it was.
yeah, honestly, the biggest change, in my opinion, is the lifesteal one, with his cardiac overdrive, because
It used to be
holy
about
shit,
50, or
it's
now it's
70.
It was 60. It went from 60 to 70.
Yeah, it's 60.
It's a lot more noticeable because everyone within that aura, your teammates as well, get basically a bit of lifesteal on their attacks.
a lot of lifesteal.
Stack
Yeah.
that with Reaper. Oh.
Yeah.
Well, with Reaper, you're just stacking a problem. but,
Yeah, no, Reaper, and like I'd say like the optimal DPS combo for Mauga is like Soldier and Reaper. Like actually, it's
Reaper is really good with him. Brig is pretty good with him. Moira's pretty
Bastion.
decent with him.
I mean,
Bastion does a whole ton of damage with the turret mode.
yeah, but Bastion is also so big that like he can't really benefit as much from the aura because like if you're that close as Bastion, you're probably dead.
Well, from what
Okay,
we've
you do have a
played with
point.
him, Bastion seems to work relatively well with him because he can keep himself up if he has the Mauga shift on.
Yeah, but that's on a like what 12-second cooldown.
Well, I mean, you don't have to be with your Mauga the whole game.
That's what I'm saying. I think that Soldier is a better match because he can heal Mauga, and because like he can always be next to Mauga. Like it's
No, he can't. Soldier would much rather go off on his own.
Well, yeah, plus the nerf he got recently.
oh yeah, they did.
You gotta use
increase
your
the cooldown.
biotic field a lot more carefully now.
Yeah, they did. But yeah, no, Mauga has like some pretty good combos because like Mauga is very simple. He just does damage and doesn't die. It's a very charmingly simple combo that I think sort of replaces Roadhog in that sense. But we'll get to that because
Well, Roadhog has the one shot now, and he actually has it now.
it's really hard to land though. But we'll get to
I land it every single time. It's just a little different.
But we'll get to that afterwards. Yeah, so Mauga is just like so good. And he has this highlight intro that's so perfect. It's just like him just holding down both fire buttons and cackling like a lunatic, which is just the way I play Mauga anyways. So the second I let Mauga launch, I just like went into the hero gallery and just bought that. Not with real money. I'm not cringe, but it's,
Uh-oh.
but
Don't look at me, folks.
but
feels targeted at certain friends of ours.
but yeah. So that's I desperately want his golden guns. I know Ian already has it. So yeah, you fucking bastard, actually saving up your coins.
Actually playing comp as well.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to play comp, which is frustrating because like at
He
this
says through gritted teeth.
at this point
I have to play comp.
at this
I actually have to play Overwatch. I can't believe this.
at this point
Yeah,
like
what emerald weapons? You gotta play comp.
at this point my hero pool is like Mauga, Orisa, Wrecking Ball, and like JQ. So
And Mauga again.
and Mauga again. So yeah, I don't know. I don't know how well I can get by with that hero pool, but we'll see.
You need a non-tank main to play.
Torbjorn.
Alright, that works.
What about a support hero?
He doesn't queue that role.
I don't touch support. Support is like my kryptonite. I find it unbearably boring.
Yeah,
That's
support
because he
touches
plays it
you.
wrong.
It's
What, Ian?
Maybe Kiriko needs to cleanse you.
I don't know. I'm good on the fox piss. I'll pass. It's like I also just find Kiriko like unlike Ian, where like Ian has like created a bit out of how annoying Kiriko is by playing her. Like I genuinely find her so annoying that I can't play her. Like like that is not an exaggeration. I actually am gritting my teeth every time she opens her mouth because I just find her too embarrassingly obnoxious.
Damn, lads, we're not even like 20 minutes in. We've already hit Widow hate and Kiriko hate. Like,
Don't push a rock up a hill.
do
We have hit the quintessential need for an episode.
No, we haven't done Tracer yet.
Oh fuck yeah! They changed Tracer. They increased her damage. It's
fine.
It's fine, but like I have to deal with more Tracers, which is really annoying because I hate fighting Tracer.
They
I found
nerfed your
Tracer
boy
really
Sigma.
fun to fight as Lucio, and exactly no one else.
Yeah, it's
No.
yeah. They also nerfed Sigma. It's just they made a lot of changes this patch that were just like nothing changes.
We'll kind of get to that more into season 8.
Yeah.
I did want to ask you guys about like how do you feel like Mauga has he lived up to the hype essentially?
Yes.
Especially given
Certainly.
the fact that we have waited almost like I want to say
4 years.
How many years? 4 years?
Sigma came out 4 years ago. Fuck me.
Yeah, but we also have to consider the fact that he was in development longer than Sigma, so probably
Yeah.
inching towards 5.
So yeah, inching towards 5 because the first we heard of him
Oof.
was that reunion comic or whatever.
Yes.
Also, I want to say vindication when I said, "Oh, I kind of feel like Baptiste and Mauga are probably going to have like a weird frenemies dynamic." And here the developers were like, "Oh yeah, they wanted to smooch." And I'm like, "Damn, vindication, but for something I didn't even expect."
Where did you hear that from?
Yeah, the developers were basically like all like retweeting and like reblogging Mauga and Baptiste art of them smooching. And being like, yeah, it was pretty much like the vibe is kind of like their exes. That's the vibe
that's
that we
weird.
were going for.
That's weird. All right.
That makes sense.
I guess so. Yeah. So.
I don't think it's weird at all. They kind of set it up, so.
Bap
But
had
they
a
were like-
breakup so bad it changed his political ideology.
I mean,
Fucking ideology.
quite literally. Like I even showed it in the do you know the map with all the Mauga teases, and it straight up
Yeah.
has like like circled very several times like Baptiste's face. And I was like,
Oh.
that's kind of not the thing you do to just like an ex-friend. But
Just the
I mean,
guy you used to know.
Well-
Yeah.
Well, I bet Baptiste secretly watches Mauga, especially that sweaty spray he has.
Sweaty spray is
I mean,
so ridiculous.
I'm just saying, before that comic where Baptiste came out as bisexual, I'm sure he looked at Mauga and be like, questioning things. I am questioning things.
Have you seen the spray they put in the game, Jazz?
I did. I
Okay.
did.
It's so ridiculous.
Ness Kane did a good job with that.
Oh man.
Oh, I love it. I love it so much. I love it. Like, okay, I do have the controversial opinion in that I love Mauga as the character. I haven't played him just yet because things with my PlayStation don't get me into it. It's tiring and long. But you know, his playstyle seems really well, and he is a handsome man. Having said that, though, I think the actual character design itself is a little underwhelming.
Really?
I gotta say, yes.
Huh.
And I know that's probably very surprising coming from me. However, and I've already had this conversation with Ness.
Is it because he has orange in his design?
No, not at all. It's more a case of, for such a loud, colorful character, I feel as though his actual design is a little bland, and not only
There's
bland,
no
very,
color.
not only bland, but also very muted in its color palette. So, for example, we have that bright orange, which should stick out a lot more than it should be, but
It's a bit of a
consider the
muted orange. It's not super bright. It doesn't stand out against like his.
and also you have to consider the fact that like a lot of like Mauga's skin is quite is like you know, brown. Then you have the dark hair. Everything else about his design is all black or very muted brown.
Where's that
Even his
white streak
bandana-
through his hair?
Yeah,
Well,
but like
when
that's
the
way
white
up here.
streak in your hair is the biggest pop of color, you know.
The design,
yeah.
it's a little bit of a problem.
I'd also say though that I really like his tattoos.
Yeah. So,
Oh yeah.
So I was saying to Ness that like they probably got rid of. Do you know that very iconic
The
red
Hawaiian shirt.
the Hawaiian shirt, because of the tattoos? But I would push back and maybe say like you could probably see those even despite the shirt, because like you could have it open.
Have the shirt.
Yeah, but he's
Yeah.
absolutely going to get a skin with the
Yeah,
shirt.
but
Yeah, but
what we're saying is he should have just had the shirt as his default design.
No, I understand. Just like
so to me it's a very, and also he has like these weird odd placements like certain armor, which is like harkens back to the problem of Overwatch 2 designs in general. I think they have very odd like weird patches of armor. So for example, again bringing back Widowmaker, her Overwatch 2 design very beautiful, but then they have these weird cups, like not even under her boobs but like on top of her boob. And it's very, very strange. And once you start noticing those strange little placements, you'll see them everywhere. And I think Mauga also suffers with this, especially given the fact that it's the only pop of color in his design. So it kind of makes it even more noticeable. So to me, like, don't get me wrong, is it bad? No, but could have been better, especially for Mauga's personality and visual design. It's a little lackluster. I'm not gonna lie.
I will give the audience a bit of a challenge, okay? Go into Overwatch, go into the hero gallery, and look at every character's default skin, and then think about how that would feel to wear.
yeah.
Yeah.
I
Like, don't get
can't.
me
I
wrong,
feel bad for Reinhardt sometimes.
Don't get me wrong. I'm not above kind of like you know, suspension of disbelief in terms of character designs, because that's what you kind of have to do, because they're for aesthetics,
Yeah.
not for actual purposeful wear. But like, granted, I think I'm getting very. I think Mauga is a very good example of like, okay, the random armor pieces need to stop. Actually give them outfits.
Well, to be fair, those are there for a reason. It's because he has like.
Yeah, there's actually a good reason why Mauga has that on his chest, and it's because that's where cybernetic hearts are.
You see,
and
the thing is,
every once in a while, he has to like
you see,
replenish
the thing is,
them.
I know that was going to come up, but the problem is that like we've seen Mauga literally not have those at all in several other like iterations.
Well, yeah, but
So-
that was when he had armor on.
No, he didn't. Like
No.
the shirt,
Oh yeah, you're right.
he doesn't have them. So they really are just like random. Now, granted, keep in mind that, you know, Mauga's 2-heart thing might have changed, but like it's still a random ass design. Now, don't get me wrong, it's not the worst thing in the world, but it kind of showcases a problem with Overwatch 2 design, the current design trend in Overwatch 2 characters, I should say, that I'm getting bored with this. Could can this start making sense? But again, very minor gripes. I think I love the guy. He seems really fun. I just wish that his base design would have been better, but like that's remedied by like skins, which.
Speaking of like fun though, we actually haven't talked about his kit. Like,
Right.
we actually haven't talked about it.
I think we have. We're like
No, we
paraphrased the kit.
we haven't like gone
I'm
over
sure
it though.
We talked about the charge. We talked about the guns.
We talked about
We
what
mentioned
stats
them.
changed.
We mentioned them,
So-
but we haven't actually like talked about it in depth.
Yeah, but this is also like a very long episode, Dastro. I don't.
Okay.
We're not even like one topic in. There's so many, so we gotta.
All
we gotta
right.
kill our darlings
Fine,
here.
fine.
But I wanted to. I did want to ask. While Astro really loves Mauga, I kind of noticed you guys kind of kept quiet.
I mean, we were busy playing it.
Yeah, and plus Astro kept taking Mauga, so
We were 5-sacking, and there was only one tank there. You know?
Yeah.
and the only time I get to play him was in No Limits, which yeah, we all equally had a fun time with him, just keeping each other alive, coordinating our cardiac overdrives.
Oh, it was so funny.
Play No Limits.
And we all
It's good.
like color coded, so the 5 of us all took like a different default or rare skin. So like there was orange Mauga, red Mauga, gray Mauga, you know, green Mauga, blue Mauga, red Mauga.
Just imagine this group of all like very slightly different guys, just like Halo alt skin.
Proof that Mauga's gay.
It was just like
Oh my god.
The Pride Brothers.
it was like
Unfortunately, Mauga is currently under a gay NDA, so we won't learn about that till June.
he's so much fun. But I don't know what Ian, what did you think? What do you think of Mauga?
I think overall, Mauga is at least as good as we could have expected him to be, given the amount of hype and anticipation we've had for him over the years. I would say he actually exceeded, like, at least what we could have expected. He's, like, honestly just so much fun to play. His character design, Jazz, I certainly see where you're coming from with a lot of your issues with the metal bits. But for the most part, like, he could have been
Like,
so
look at
much
his
worse.
arms. What's that doing? What's that doing there on his? What's that doing there? True.
He needs a little
especially-
help to lift those big ass guns.
I especially
What
do
are his
appreciate that the
fingers?
fact that like his. Oh Jesus! I think
Now
Discord
here's
just
the
read
real
it.
question: who's stronger, Zarya or Mauga?
Mauga would tear
Mauga.
Zarya in half. Like,
Well, how do we know? Because he is a fan of Zarya.
Because his arms are twice the width of hers.
because
And plus, he got disqualified. I think he did want to compete, but they didn't allow him.
because of the 2 hearts,
Yeah,
yeah.
'cause he's like more fucking what's it called? when you
Superhuman.
Don't...
He's like actually superhuman.
Well, that's because
Oh.
he's more metal than man.
No, he's not.
He is.
Nah, he's just enhanced. I don't think they didn't
Yeah.
allow
He's-
enhanced people.
He's not like Doomfist, where it's like every other body
No, he
part
is
is
like
metal.
Doomfist. Like most parts would be metal, right?
No, his lower arms are not made of metal. It looks to be like some sort of sleeve that he puts on.
I mean, Doomfist is not mostly made of metal. It's just the one arm.
No, he has a ton of replacements.
No, there's actually a bunch of like plates
Yeah, there's
on his
a-
Yeah.
chest and things.
He has like
Yeah, but I don't think those are like full on, like, it's not like Sojourn level of like
no,
him just
it's,
being a robot.
no, it's not like
Yeah,
Sojourn.
because
It's like little
haven't-
bits around him.
Because they've showcased him without the gauntlet, and that like most of his like it's pretty much from the elbow down, where it's a bit like, oh, I don't think that's a real arm.
No,
and
it's
everything
not.
Else up.
It's his
He lost his.
his arm is prosthetic. Yeah.
Yeah. So where are you guys getting the fact that like it's going up to his chest?
What do
He
you
has
mean?
little like chest things on his like chest, basically.
Yeah, like Doom. The whole thing with Doomfist is that he's
I mean,
constantly
yet-
enhancing himself.
I mean, yet again, I mentioned, Overwatch 2 is kind of, oh, just slap some armor there. Yeah, it'll be fine.
Well, it also does kind of help that his family actually own a cybernetic company. So
Yeah, I thought the whole shtick was that like he got his prosthetic, and then he wanted basically to increase his like he's getting to the stage of getting to soldier. He like sojourn, but still remain human. I
Yeah.
thought that was the whole point.
Yeah, it is. And so he continues.
So he only has his gauntlet.
No, he has.
No, his shins are entirely artificial.
His shins are
entire
artificial.
Left arm is mostly artificial. He has an access bit on his boob.
He also has the knuckles are actually seemingly built into his hand.
He has he has LEDs on his neck,
Yeah.
ears, and forehead.
Yeah, and like his feet appear to be at least somewhat enhanced.
Wait, Wait, hold on, gang. Are we all collectively very dumb? Because you know the way Doomfist in his bio says, yeah, he lost one of his arms.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It never specified which arm.
No,
Is
it
his
did.
Gauntlet the gauntlet?
Yes.
Is that the fully functioning arm while
No.
the other one is?
No, it's so
No.
So the arm that is the gauntlet is on is fully artificial. That's the arm he lost.
Hold on,
That's confirmed. That's confirmed.
Oh.
Hold on, I'll show you a
I mean, the
picture from
other
the back. It
arm
would make
has
sense.
shotguns built into his knuckles, so I think it's safe to say there's at least a few cybernetics.
Yeah, no, I
going
think
there.
his hand. I think
His other arm was also mostly replaced. Yeah.
Well, but it as you can see, like in his origin trailer when he breaks out.
It says right here, during the game's Omnic War between humans and rogue Omnic robots. Doomfist. I'm not going to say his real name because I'm not going to butcher it. It lost his right arm.
Akande Ogundimu. That's how you say it.
So let me just really quickly. Yep, gauntlet arm. So he
That
must
is
have
his
done
gauntlet arm.
perfect. Discourse over.
Yeah. Trust me, I was the Doomfist guy. I know. I noticed everything because I had to look at it. His like character model 70% of the time I would play the game. But yeah.
Even when you weren't playing the game, you just sit there staring at it.
No, I don't. We're not gonna imply anything, Ian. That's no. Yeah, no. Well, I mean, Proto, what do you think about Mauga?
Oh, I thought I told you. I didn't get much play with him, but in general, I was extremely excited to see him. I mean, my friend Lauren's friend that didn't show Mauga, she would have ate that entire ticket. But or pass holder.
And
but yeah, it was really cool to see him there.
Ness, what are your thoughts on Mauga?
On Mauga?
Yeah.
He's fun to play. He's kind of a bit clunky sometimes.
Okay. That it?
Overall success, I guess. You know, what more do I have to say that you guys haven't?
Fair enough.
Would you let him carry in the groceries for you?
Would I let him carry groceries? I think I can carry like soup mostly myself.
What if you were an elderly woman?
Oh my god, I can't imagine him doing his charge while holding on to an old lady.
No, actually, you know, I think I would let him hold my groceries if I were an old woman.
Overwatch artists, could you please put? Do you know like when you try to carry all the groceries going into the car, from the car to your home?
Mm-hmm.
Could you draw that with Mauga?
I walk home, thanks.
Anyways, we are almost 40 minutes in, so let's get to
Jesus Christ!
Let's get
to talking point number 2.
Let's get to talking point number 2.
At least with the other heroes, we don't have as much to say. But...
Yeah, that's true. So
yeah, in a surprise twist that absolutely no one expected, we kind of got other heroes announced just randomly.
All the cards on the table.
Yeah, so the first one they revealed is the next character coming up named Venture, who is a Canadian non-binary archaeologist, which is...
Yes, so is that going to be linking up to, do you know, the archaeologists that we have seen all throughout Overwatch, like pretty much like since, for the past like couple of years? What's the company called?
Yes.
People have been looking at the logos.
We actually know the name of them now. Because
yeah,
it's on
Venture
Venture's
had
jacket.
a little... Yeah. Let me,
the logo is the same as the one found on Petra, yeah.
Yeah, we know that Venture's part of that group now.
Yeah.
For sure.
Ah.
Is it the Wayfinders? Is that what they're called?
it all eventually ties back together. This is one of those rare times where it's like, oh, finally, we get to know something.
Because I remember when Petra came out, people were like, "Oh my god, I can't wait to see who these people are," and then nothing happened. And they're still the only map that doesn't have their fucking map theme officially released. I'm so pissed.
Oh my god, yeah, dude, thanks for pointing that out. I didn't even think of that.
The only map in the whole game that doesn't have their official theme released in any of the OSTs they've released.
We'll just throw into Indiana Jones theme in there. Why not?
That'll be the theme when they dig
Copyright
into the fucking
this
ground and fuck you up.
podcast.
But yeah,
I've never seen oh god damn it, I lost track of what I was going to say. No, I had something funny.
No.
I had something funny, and it left me.
okay.
Don't worry, Venture will dig it back up for you.
Thank you, Ventura.
But
I love it. Do you know? I will say this. I thought their name was Ventura, and I like Ventura more. Ventura.
Ventura.
They come out as Ace Ventura.
My favorite aspect about Venture's design, at least in like the image they showed, is just like the shit-eating grin. I just like, I don't know. There's something about it that is very funny to me.
I have to say, when they were released, we were like, Australia coded. I don't know why.
No, Canadian.
Yeah, but they're
apparently,
Australia coded. I don't know what to tell you.
Yeah,
Now we got 2.5 Canadians in the game.
when I looked at them,
Yippee.
Canadian was not what came to mind. But I think it's
when
I think
I saw Venture, the first thing that screamed out was, yeah, Venture is clearly an adventurer. Likes to search for things.
have we confirmed if Venture is French Canadian or not?
Ooh,
We have no
I
idea.
Have
I don't-
confirmed.
I'll be honest, Astro, just looking at them, I don't think they're French.
But
That doesn't scream.
because
wouldn't stoop
because
that low.
I thi-
Bonjour.
because I think it would just be so wacky if like we got two Canadian heroes and neither of them were French Canadian.
It would have been even funnier if one of them was French Canadian and actively hated the other.
Yeah. But no, Venture looks exciting. 250 health, which is always fun. They can drill into the ground, which is really cool.
A Reaper style escape.
I love it. I just know Ventura is gonna be my type of hero. I can just tell.
They have like the drill becomes a laser gun, which is pretty wacky.
When you do thrust forward the drill, it does give you 50 temporary shields.
Oh, yeah, okay.
But then it goes like back down.
Yeah.
We should also remember that this is very much still an
In progress.
development character and is not finished yet.
We
And
have
they did
no-
say
we have-
any of this is up for change.
We have no idea what their ult is. And there's still questions about how the drilling works, like if you can go up walls and stuff like that.
Or go through walls. even.
Yeah.
I don't think you can.
So, I mean, that would be fun, but programming, you know?
Mm-hmm.
That would probably be a nightmare. I imagine it's already difficult enough to, like, do what they're doing. Because I get the sense that this might be another, like, Lucio or Wrecking Ball situation. Where, like, they suddenly have to, like, reconsider movement options for, like, entire maps because of one character.
I don't think it's that bad because they mostly seem to stick to a floor tile. So if they're not on a floor tile, I don't think they can go down.
Oh, well, that's true.
Well, we aren't really sure about that because we've only seen them travel across the floor. But for all we know, they might be able to go up walls and stuff too. They
Yeah.
just haven't shown it.
Venture might be in your walls, boys.
Uh-oh.
What I can't wait for is the
They're
dig
gonna
down
do-
ability. If it's pressed while midair, it just makes you shoot down.
That would be wacky.
I
This
won't be
does a fuckload of
surprised if they
damage.
for
That'd be funny.
Can't wait to land that on top of a widow.
Oh, fuck yeah.
Wait, how will Venture be able to go up certain things?
That's what we're not
like-
sure about.
That's the neat part. They don't.
Like the bounce pad, for example, like on Oasis.
Oh, yeah, I have no idea. You just might not be able to use
under
it.
Drill under it, get out of the ground, then they use it.
Oh yeah, probably.
Yeah, they'd probably be able to drill under it, and then they'd
Bounce.
have to just come back to the surface to use it.
Yeah. So yeah, that's Venture. Venture looks very exciting. Do I think I'll play them? I think that's actually going to come down to what their ult is. Because the rest of the kit, the drilling looks fun, but I'm sort of lukewarm on the gun and the dash thing. So I'll have to see.
I'm very shocked to hear that from you, given the fact that you're like in the cult that that all of you are currently in, the dwarves.
What, Rock and Stone?
Deep Rock Galactic.
Deep Rock Galactic?
Yeah.
I mean,
But Astra's not a
cult.
driller main.
yeah, none of us
That's
main the
Diego.
driller.
Diego's the driller,
Diego
man.
main's the driller. I'm a gunner main. That's why I like Mauga. I hold down button, then go
I'm
burr.
the scout
You
man,
just
so I
like to
play
go
Lucio.
guns blazing.
Yeah. So, yeah. But I'm excited about Venture. Venture looks, apparently their personality is very, Loot Gremlin-esque.
You seem exactly like my type of person, just fucking gremlin mode all the way.
But, like, apparently...
Us for real, for real.
Apparently,
For real.
apparently they just like exist to find loot, and like I'm not going to say a kleptomaniac because that might be assuming a bit much, but that would be kind of funny. I will say I'm not a huge fan of the fact that this is how they're portraying an archaeologist, because there's already sort of a bad stereotype that is genuinely not true about archaeologists, that they're just sort of glorified grave robbers.
Yeah, but that's a lot more fun than what they actually are.
Yeah, archaeologists in reality are just sort of like going to digs and categorizing and cataloging. And
Most of them are just history nerds.
yeah, it's mostly cataloging.
Which, honestly, I see that.
But yeah,
I also like history.
I do too. Venture looks like a lot of fun. I love their character design. It looks like again, it's very Australia coded, but Canada works too. I mean, there's like northern Canada is just like the barren wastelands. So, yeah.
Yeah, one thing, it just kind of circles back to another the same critique I had with Mauga, is that like for such a explosive kind of personality-driven character that they seem to be, bit of a bland color palette, man. Bit of a bland one.
Yeah.
But at the very least, this one makes sense at the very least in terms of like they're just like an archaeologist. They're just digging around. So, but at the same time, Overwatch is kind of like notoriously cartoony. So I don't know why they're such gritty realism.
I think I just love like the flame tattoos on the neck. That's bizarre.
I love it.
I was like,
I
what?
love it.
I didn't
love
even
the-
notice that detail.
Wait,
Goggles
really?
and the
Wait.
I love the wing.
Oh, I
eyeliner
see
as
that.
well.
Oh,
the
snap.
The first thing I noticed when they revealed Venture was three things: drill, shit-eating grin, flame tattoo.
I love how they like very visibly have like teeth missing and like chipped teeth.
They
and stuff
do?
Like that. It's just yeah.
Oh,
Mhm.
I didn't even notice
Yeah,
that.
you could see from Venture's facial expressions
Oh,
in the
yeah.
concept art.
They do.
You know
I
what they
love it.
remind me of?
What?
Like the fucking gremlin engineer type character.
So Torbjorn.
No. Like Torbjorn isn't a gremlin.
Yeah, he is. What are you talking about?
He just happens to be really short.
Oh, I guess that's true.
Despite his claims that he's not a dwarf.
He's
He just
a
has dwarfism.
He's just a short king.
I mean,
Yes.
he's a short king for sure.
Hmm.
Getting more than you guys.
That's for sure.
yeah.
Wow! I didn't insult us like that. Okay.
If you can't
No bitches.
handle my flames, get out of my kitchen, boys.
But
I'm cooking already.
yeah, that's Venture. I'm very excited about Venture. Next up, though, is Space Ranger, which is
currently a code name right now.
Yeah,
So
they showed.
here's a very funny thing that happened. Okay, when the screenshots of the BlizzCon were happening, and people were like, "Oh my god, look at this! It's the new support and damage character." I thought it was the other way around.
That's what I thought too.
I thought Venture was the support and the Space Ranger was the DPS, because I was looking at this. It's like, that's a support character. They have like nothing going on.
It's the killer hips. Hey.
Always the hips.
Well, also that a lot of supports just happen to have real big fuck off weapons with utility functions.
Yes, they do.
Yeah. To be fair, like it is a very, very much like a Overwatch coded thing to do. Be like, give a Twinkie person a gun. They're the support.
They're the support. Yeah.
Somehow.
But yeah, Space Ranger. Apparently, from what they said, basically everything they've shown is like not what they're actually doing anymore. Which is like, okay, why'd you show it to us? Yeah, like
I guess the design is still.
Yeah, they
set in
already
stone,
said
I
that
guess.
the burst fire smart SMG, which is shown in this concept artwork, they already said that that's no longer her weapon.
Yeah.
No.
did they say anything about the
Yeah.
wacky arms, like the robot arms, like the rover?
No, I don't think they really
Not
talked
really.
about those.
No, they just basically showed like, hey, this is still a work in progress, and you won't hear from her in a while. We do know a tiny bit about her backstory, that she resides from the Mars
She's from
colony.
Mars, which is so out of pocket. I'm like,
No, guys,
I'm not gonna
can't
lie
wait
to you.
play the Elon Musk tie-in.
I'm
And the
not.
thing is, we might even know her nationality based on voice line
Martian,
from May.
dumbass. Get used to it.
Well, no. No. The thing is, May mentioned there was something May mentioned about it. We might actually know her real name already.
Okay.
Let me find it really quick.
I will say though, this might be something of a hot take, but I genuinely hope they don't go with the Mars thing, because maybe it's just me, but I feel like with the strife that the Overwatch world has gone through, I don't think it's realistic that there would be suddenly like just a Mars colony that nobody's mentioned.
Also,
It does
one
feel
that
out
worked.
of nowhere.
Yeah.
I mean, the
that's
colony
Overwatch,
in
That's Overwatch lore in a nutshell. They just throw shit at us. Out of
Look at
nowhere.
Alari. They threw the Inti clan out of the
Okay.
Inti warrior thing out of nowhere.
Yeah, the Inti Warrior is like, okay, that's weird, but it's not a Mars colony. Like that's an achievement
After-
of humanity. That's not like a group of
To be
people
fair, they also-
forming a.
They've colonized the moon. They've been very open with that.
No, but they
well,
haven't
they also,
successfully colonized the moon.
decolonized the
They
moon.
haven't successfully colonized the moon.
Yeah, that's because of
it
funky,
died.
funky
Monkey fight.
That's because of monkey fight.
But like, it's
So,
straight.
like, I don't think it's too much of a leap to say. Yeah, they probably tried to call. Also, we don't know how successfully this has been.
Fair
She
enough.
could be in a rocket currently trying to get home, being like, "Jesus Christ, get me out of here!"
Yes, fair enough.
No, here's what it's gonna be. I'm gonna call it right now. The Mars colony, contact with them will have been lost during the Omnic crisis. Space Ranger's gonna be like the first Martian colonist to ever go back to Earth after losing contact, and that's gonna be her whole shtick. Oh, I've never been to Earth before. What are these weird plant things everywhere? Oh, what's a tree? Like,
What
that's
the
gonna be
fuck?
her
A
entire
talking
character.
monkey? Well, she'd know a tree because like they probably grow those.
No,
on
because they
Mars.
only have moss and mushrooms on Mars.
No, actually, trees would do super well on Mars if you can supply
They
them.
won't have it.
If you can, if
suppose.
you
I'm
can,
calling it now. They won't have it. They'll have these greenhouses that are semi-underground where they only have mushrooms and mosses, and that's all they eat.
Astro, this man hasn't
Potatoes.
slept in several days. You might as well just give this to him.
I mean, potatoes actually would do well on the Martian soil. Fun fact.
That is actually true. They might have
It is?
potatoes. I'll give you that one.
Well, they'll
She
have.
might have seen potatoes.
Potatoes grow in.
I can't. Okay, guys, I would have really liked
Wait,
for
calm
it to
down,
just
everyone.
be an Irish potato farm.
No. Potatoes are originally from Aztec cultures,
Yes.
correct? So therefore, she knows the Larry.
Like,
Oh my
Larry.
god.
like you have like Ian, you do not understand that like potatoes can grow in fucking anything, save for like blighted Irish soil. So like,
Listen. Those. I'm not getting into it. Actually, no. I retract my statement. I'm trying not to get Ian fired with my really hot We're talking about colonization. Let's cut the cameras, cut the tapes. Do we think Space Ranger is she one of the scientists on Mars, or was she born on Mars? That's going to be the most
I
interesting
think
question.
they
I
specified
believe
that she's born on Mars. Yeah.
The first,
Yeah, I
the
think
first,
they might have specified that actually.
I mean, I was literally about to say she looks very young.
She
That
looks.
doesn't help.
Yeah.
That
She
doesn't
look-
help,
Exactly.
actually.
That's what I'm saying. She's going to be coming to Earth, and it's like, oh, this is her first time ever being on Earth, and that's
I
going to
mean-
be her whole shtick.
She looks like.
Ian, you're saying this as though like Overwatch hasn't given us like what looks to be children and said, yeah, that's a 40-year-old. What the hell do you mean?
What?
Yeah,
What?
Kira, like.
Oh yeah, Kiriko.
Kiriko,
She's
we have
But
Mercy.
she's an anomaly.
We have
Kiriko.
Mercy
Does
is
not look
because
like
of
a
medical
child.
magic.
Come on now, come on. Mercy does not look like she's near.
Oh, yeah.
I'll give you
Michael
that.
Chu did clarify this
What?
regarding Mercy's age and like how she looks.
Oh, that she uses stuff?
Like
She-
what he said was like medical magic that makes her look younger.
I mean, I believe it. Life extension is like a massive focus of medical
Oh
technology
yes,
right
I mean
now.
even in the real world too.
Yeah, so there's no way it's not like crazy sophisticated,
I
but
mean, hell.
I mean, it's something they came up with later, but
yeah,
I mean,
yeah,
hell,
sure. They came up with it because Mercy's a pretty lady, and they want.
yes.
That's kind of.
But I will
I'm
say,
like, I'm not hating, but also I'm just stating facts.
I will say that another thing that I think supports the fact that Space Ranger was born on Mars is just how sort of gangly she is.
I was about to mention exactly the word gangly when looking at her.
Because if you grow up on a lower gravity planet, you're gonna not have as developed musculature, because you just don't need it.
Yeah, that's why
Oh.
she's going to have the suit. The suit is going to be what compensates for her not having the muscle mass to actually stand up on Earth.
Well, no.
Yeah,
To be fair, if you got
that's
back,
why she has the
if
suit,
you got back
'cause
to-
she uses it.
if you got back to Earth and you were there for long enough, your body would adapt to it. But if she hasn't been there long enough, yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, but we're concluding from the evidence shown that she's most likely born there
But that's what I'm saying. Like,
and has been there her whole life.
but I'm saying like,
until-
Born on Mars, always dreamed of going back to Earth, finally goes back to Earth to reestablish
and then it's like,
contact
oh, it's
between the two
gravity,
planets.
hell, and robots have killed everyone. Cool.
Yeah, but she's going to have a fun and sprightly personality because of course she will.
you know what they should do for this character specifically? For this character specifically, gravitic flux should do 75% of her health.
Oh my god.
Actually, no. If she gets gravitic flux, she just keeps going up.
But
How
no,
much you want to bet her ultimate just gives everyone on her team Baptistes?
low gravity, that'd be wild. Actually, that would be crazy.
Yo,
That
she
would
like
be
turns off for her ult. She turns off the gravity.
Well, they said that she has a lot of vertical mobility as like part of her kit.
Ooh.
It makes sense for her to be able to like fly and float, sort of.
Yeah.
Maybe she has like quote unquote Mars gravity built into her own kit.
That'd be
It's
that would
probably
be
going to be
wild.
her suit, because her suit is, I mean, like has little wing.
It has
jetpack
jump jets.
components
Yeah,
on it.
it has jump
I don't
jets.
think she's going to be walking anywhere, is what I mean.
I mean, look at her
Perhaps
boots.
not
You
even,
think you
yeah,
can walk
maybe
in
not.
those? Look at those fucking things.
Yeah,
No, she's
those
gonna
shoes are
fly
pretty-
/ hover, and if she does like jump, quote unquote, it's gonna be like
Ven-
a
Venture and the Space Girl, they got some crazy shoes.
Oh yeah,
Every
have to
Overwatch
say-
hero has crazy shoes.
Except for
Have you seen
Sigma.
Kiriko?
Sigma does not have crazy shoes. He has no shoes.
That's
Okay, well,
also
that's
crazy,
crazy in
though.
and of itself.
I was crazy once.
I mean,
So,
Sigma
Ian,
doesn't
I-
even want to wear shoes.
No, he doesn't
So
like them.
Ian, you already have very strong feelings towards this character that we haven't seen yet. Is she gonna be your new Kiriko?
What the hell is that supposed to mean?
Like you
I don't
just
know.
fucking hate her
Nothing
guts.
can be his Neva Kiriko.
You
I
just
don't
hate
think
her
you
guts.
Understand.
Yeah.
I don't know. It entirely depends on how intolerable she is.
I mean, I don't know. Based on this character design, she's either gonna be like really, really cool or utterly fucking intolerable. Like,
The less sufferable, the better.
Honestly,
Yeah, but at the very
Honestly.
least, she knows what.
There's a
potatoes are.
reason people call you Master Kyrian Gamer.
Nobody calls me that.
Well, they're
Now we
gonna
do.
start
Yeah,
now.
I know you're lying now. Come on, man.
I've never heard that word before in my life.
You people
refuse
said
these
to you in
allegations.
chat. Come on, you even acknowledged it.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Anyway, saving Ian's reputation. What do we think about the robo arms? What's that about?
The what?
The little robo arms?
Yeah.
The little rocket pods that pop out of her back? I don't know.
No,
Probably
I don't
tied
have
to
that.
some ability.
Well, yeah, I would imagine.
I mean, they
Well,
look
probably,
damage based. They look like little rocket pods.
They do,
So
yeah.
like, again, the whole her not looking like a support type thing.
Maybe it's
going
like
on.
Diva, like little mini rockets.
It could
Maybe.
also be like a mini rocket that could like fall around teammates and heal them.
Oh yeah,
be
we also
that.
need to figure out how is this character going to heal. Like I'm looking at this. What's the healing?
They have no
mechanic?
visible healing. It's just guns and more guns.
It's more
Well,
guns.
yeah, well, here is why I was like, well, how is this the support and not the damage character?
I mean, look at Brigida. Like, if you just look at her first glance,
Okay,
she
that's fair.
doesn't look like a support.
No, she
Yeah,
doesn't.
but
Anna
Brigida at least has
doesn't look
yellow
like a
as part of her
damage.
color palette.
Anna
Support-
straight up shoots you in the ass, and it somehow heals you, man. Overwatch.
Fair point.
You know? They
That
just make
tasty.
do.
Yep.
I mean,
Anna
Zenyatta
does
doesn't
have
have
support
obvious
energy.
healing on him. If you just look at his
I
design.
wonder if the little arm things are gonna end up being drones of some kind.
That'd be cool.
That she can like deploy and have some
could be.
sort of like supporting mechanic tied to them.
That'd be cool. Yeah, because I mean, they seem to have their own like aerodynamic wings on them. If you look at it, that could like pop out. But yeah, that's Space Ranger. We also have a guy.
Yeah,
We're just gonna have
icon.
to refer to him by El Criaturo.
I'm just gonna
Because-
call him Hero 42.
the creature. What are we
The
looking
Junker
at?
Bowser.
Yeah, Junker
This
Bowser.
fucking guy looks like a Koopa kid.
What are we
This is the thing,
looking
though, like,
at?
I can't make out what we're looking at because like the others I'm like oh, with the other like memes I can like see okay that's like a face. What am I looking at here? What is this dude?
I'm
Hold on, I'll show you exactly what we're looking at. We're looking at the Koopa kids, and
I'm-
all of these are gonna represent. We're looking at Larry specifically, the crazy one with the wand.
I am going to say I'm going to call it now that this is going because this is something I was thinking about, and it's something that I think is a fringe theory, but I think might have something to it. I think this might be Soundquake.
This is Soundquake.
I think this I'm
sorry, Astro. Venture looks more like Soundquake than
No,
this.
no. The reason I say I think it's Soundquake is if you look at the things on either side of his head, they almost look like speakers, like little subwoofers. You see what I mean?
He has that loud fit.
Like I'm not going to call it because I don't have enough evidence to really go off of,
He
but
looks like a walking riptire.
But I am I am going to predict that because this is so like, you know, cartoonized, characterized, it's not going to look like this in like the final form. I'm going to take a guess that this is Soundquake. Yeah. Like
Jazz is pointing out it could look it also looks a bit like the red guy in the background.
Well, no,
from the
that
Overwatch
is
concept
sound
art.
that is sound.
that was the design of Soundquake, yeah.
So my point was more like I'm not really seeing it, but okay.
But I mean, keep this in mind. The chemist in that image became Anna.
Yeah.
So-
Designs do change very, very.
And this
Yeah, but
image is
also-
from 2015.
Also, do you know that the chemist and also Anna are like two different characters? Does that make sense?
Yes,
yeah,
but
they came from the same idea.
Yeah.
Initially.
Yeah, but I know there was one punkish character that very obviously evolved into Junker Queen.
yeah.
So like maybe, but I don't know. I'm not really
Guys,
seeing.
Is this
I'm not really.
Sorry, go ahead.
Oh. No, you go ahead. You go ahead.
Is this the evolution of Mama Hong? Is this
Mama Hog, we have to bring it back to Mama Hog. No, actually, Space
my
Ranger
God.
is
It's Space Ranger Mama
that.
Hong
Space
all
Ranger
along.
is Mama Hog.
is this tank going to have an ability called manslaughter?
Guys, welcome to Game Theory, and today's episodes we're discussing the allegations that Mama Hong might be reworked into Space Ranger.
It's just
No. She's Mama Hong's daughter.
that would be
Yeah.
wild.
Mama Hong sent her kid to Mars, and this is what came out.
Lads, what are we actually gonna do if they somehow turn around and just actually put in Mama Hong? What are we actually gonna do? What are we
Yeah, what happens
What
then?
would we do? We would shrug. We would shrug and be like, okay, bet.
But like, she would have like an execute move, which would be hilarious.
Okay, show of hands. Who would be the Mama Hong theoretical main in
Me
the group?
Yeah, it'd be Astro 100%.
with an ability called
He'd be
manslaughter.
the new Mauga.
Yeah, just like an ability to
no,
tear someone to
gang.
shreds.
Oh no, gang! I saw great artwork, and now I'm kind of like, ooh, I want it.
Yeah,
of
this is
Mama
what
Hong.
happens when you look up artwork for potential Overwatch characters. You're like, uh-oh.
No, I'm invested now.
But anyways, I'm saying that this might be Soundquake. What do you guys think?
Do you see any
I
subwoofers?
don't necessarily agree. Yeah, they seem to have like a turtle-esque design with like a weird spiked shell.
Yeah,
And the other thing I think is very important to keep in mind with this is a hero who will not be releasing for an entire year.
correct.
Their design could change radically from what we see here
Correct.
in the final hero that gets released. So that's also worth considering.
That's a good point. Very good point.
Which is why we only saw this image.
Actually, you know that when I'm looking at him, you know what this character kind of reminds me of? Just be with this cartoon version of them.
Hmm?
Did you guys ever watch Chowder as a kid?
Oh my god.
Yeah.
They armored up Schnitzel, dude.
Armored
Yeah,
Schnitzel.
Oh my god.
I am going to ask you, just to keep it trucking before we move on to literally the second topic. The
Yes.
second main topic of the Christ.
25 hours in, we're on to topic 2.
I did want to ask you guys. So, naturally, this came as a very big surprise to everyone. Why do you think the developers decided to do this?
Because people had no faith in Overwatch 2 at this point, and everyone thought the game was dead and just like about to end, and Blizzard was like, oh shit, we gotta convince people that we actually have stuff in the works. So they just showed everything.
Ian also has
not to defend a company here, but also they've been like the community have been saying that for like how many years
Since the game came out.
since
I
the
think
game
they're
came
also
out?
uniquely in a situation where they actually have a lot of content backed up. So they're like, all right, all cards on the table. We know that we're able to release all of these.
Yeah, and there's also the incredibly cynical take that Ian had. You know which one I'm talking about, Ian.
The Xbox or
Yeah.
Microsoft one?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's less likely, honestly, though, compared to just Blizzard being like, people don't think we have anything in the works. We need to show something.
Yeah. So
We're going to show off heroes that aren't finished yet, and they're probably going to change radically by the time they do finish, but we'll deal with that when we reach that bridge,
Okay.
sort of thing.
got it. All right. So we don't need to cover that then.
Jeff Keighley will.
Yeah. So
Elden Ring news, please.
yeah, please actually. BlizzCon, the game mode.
Clash.
I have no idea what the fuck to make out of Clash. Like, what am I?
Yeah, I don't like. We've seen it's like control points from TF2.
Is it?
Like
Okay, so I'm the only one here that hasn't seen it. Please explain to me what it is, okay? I have not looked at any of this.
It's like push, but with capture points instead of a payload.
So it's like 5 CP from...
Yes,
Yeah,
actually.
in a way.
It's a tug of war.
Yeah.
Currently, the rules on it is like the way your team has to win is either capture all 5 of the points or whoever scores the most
Yeah.
when the timer ends.
Which, honestly, I get the sense that this game mode is going to be a timer game mode. Like, 80% of the time, this game mode is going to end because of the timer, not because someone gets all the points. Like...
Right, just
Well,
like
push was supposed to be that, and it is, mostly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, like, this is going to be a long con, sort of... This is going to be a marathon game mode. This is not going to be, like, capture point. Or not
This
capture points.
is one of those game modes where you're consistently hearing overtime.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah, the devs even said outright that this is their most sweatiest core game mode yet.
Oh, fuck off. Just what we needed, more sweat.
Well, it might be cool, might be cool.
They also showed off that they're not reworking Hanamura, but they're making a Hanamura esque map. It's set in the same
Hanamura
location.
2!
Yeah, it's set in the same
Hanako.
location.
Electric Boogaloo.
It's apparently that's like what they're doing. So cool.
Yeah,
I guess.
it's supposedly just like a location just immediately adjacent to old Hanamura.
Yeah.
It's like, it's the same Shimada Castle area.
What is it called again?
Hanako. Or Hanaoka.
Hanaoka. Okay, Hanaoka.
My bad. Oh, why did I get
Japan
that
is,
mixed up?
something hill? Like Flower Hill? Is that the word?
That would
I'm getting
make
that mixed
sense.
Yeah, it kind of looks like just basically there's one side of essentially a castle, what you would consider like the Shimada's castle,
Yeah.
and then it kind of looks like there's one side, and this is directly the other side.
Yeah. You just walk 10 feet and you're in Hanaoka.
I will say one thing I've always loved about Hanamura is the idea that like it's heavily implied that it's Tokyo, right? Because actually it has to be because Mount Fuji's right there. I just find the idea of like someone just building like an Edo period castle in the middle of Tokyo, just like
Listen.
Wow,
Genji
alright.
and Hanzo's father was just really dramatic, and he wanted to live that rich life, and don't let your dreams be dreams, kids. Become the mafia.
It's
Get a
supposed to be a
castle.
bit of a parallel to the actual castle that is in Tokyo.
Well, yeah, but that was built like
But it
before.
also parallels Osaka Castle, which
Yeah, but like
I've been to.
Osaka is known for that. Osaka is like known for the traditional architecture.
Did you know that there's no interior left for the most part? My brother went in and he was like, "Yeah, there's it's just a museum."
I mean, that doesn't surprise me. What are they going to do with it?
Well, I'll keep the interior alive.
Oh, well.
They do that with most other places.
Okay, I guess that's fair. But if you're going to turn it into something that's like for tourists, I guess you would have to do something with it. But yeah.
Anyway, going back to topic.
Hero Mastery Gauntlet.
Please stay on the topic, please. Anyway, back to in regards to Clash, I'm very surprised that they decided to go with another mode, especially given the fact that I feel like I blinked and all of a sudden we've added like 3 more game modes. And that I wasn't expecting. I'm not complaining. As the person who has gone on for years saying, if Overwatch 2 gets us new game modes, I'll be happy. So I'm dead happy here. Definitely, I'm very happy hearing also there's going to be a Mastery Gauntlet coming in as well.
Yeah.
There's going to be more PvE that's been confirmed for 2024. We'll get to that shortly. But what do we think about the Gauntlet first and foremost?
First, to address your point about the new game modes, they definitely seem to be focusing hard on game modes as the thing they're adding, whether it is a proper mode like Clash or Hero Mastery Gauntlet. Like, it's like, just give people more ways to play this game, basically.
And honestly, I think this is one of the great things that like Overwatch 2 has been focusing on. If they give us more game modes and give us more ways to play the game, I'm dead happy. And I think that's the smart move because there's so many reasons for people to play Overwatch, and I think giving people multiple reasons, even more reasons, you're only like winning. It's only a good practice move. It's only a good business move, in my opinion. And I'm very happy that they're turning out a Gauntlet as well. As someone who really liked Hero Mastery, I'm really happy with this as well.
Thank you. I'm actually thinking I'm not the only one who enjoys it. I played
High five,
this.
man.
Yeah, I was
High five.
grinding the hell out of those leaderboards. I actually became #1 on some of them in the
Holy
world.
shit.
So
Damn! Wow.
yeah,
I haven't played it.
I was nonstop. Well, you may play it when Lucio and Genji comes in.
I'm not sweaty enough for that
Yeah,
anymore.
it's not a.
I just want to play Dark Souls, man.
He's a changed. Oh, Dark Souls, the very the very dry experience of Dark Souls.
No, it's just if at least there I get to choose to torture myself.
Yeah,
True.
exactly.
So there is also, PvE, It was mentioned.
Let's go.
It was
PvE mentioned.
Let's not just
What?
sleep on past Gauntlet. I want to talk about that.
Okay.
Oh,
Yeah, come on.
I'm actually excited for Hero Mastery Gauntlet.
I've got nothing
For
to say about it.
years,
It's
I've
not
been
my
saying
game.
Overwatch needs a tower defense mode, and we're getting it.
A 3-player PvE. Well, the hero roster, we do know from it that it will be rotating, so you can't just play as all heroes
Which is dumb.
in the gauntlet.
Which is honestly the stupidest decision they made for it yet. Just let us
Look,
play anything.
I'm banking on them starting it as like a very experimental sort of mode. If people enjoy it, I'm sure they'll give it more love. They'll add an all heroes mode. They'll maybe even add proper art assets at some point. Let's start small with it. I can understand why they're doing that, but I could see myself playing this quite a bit.
Yeah, I mean, I'll have to try it. It doesn't look like my sort of thing, but
Oh, you've never played Sanctum, have you?
nope.
I love that game.
That
Nobody
explains.
knows what it is, but I love that game.
I heard a tiny bit of it from a friend of mine, I think a few years ago.
It's an
Only
FPS
in
tower
the-
defense game, and it is so cool.
The only tower defense I ever got into was Bloons Tower.
That's completely different.
That's a very
know.
different type
That's
of game.
I know
conventional
that's a very
tower
different-
defense.
I know. I'm just saying.
But yeah, PvE confirmed for 2024. What do we?
Yep.
Well, that's all we have for PvE.
That's
folks.
all.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're really like. I mean, I know we said in our predictions video that we were like, they're probably just gonna mention it and then keep on trucking, and that's exactly what they did.
Yep.
But one fear I do have, and if any Blizzard employee is listening to me, please, I am begging you, release some sort of tweet to not confirm, like say no, this is not happening. This is this and this. Give us more information, please and thank you, because the one thing I'm scared of is that the PvE is going to come once a year, and that means we spent 3 or 4 years waiting for something just to get archives again.
I'm willing to bet that's exactly what it'll end up being.
Ian, I really need you to stop being the negative Nancy in this episode.
No, seriously.
I really
Look
need-
at
I really
how
need you.
much stuff they showed off at BlizzCon for 2024. They teased and or straight up released 4 new heroes. We know every single hero we're going to get for the next year at this point. We know the next game mode. We know another new map. We know all these things about competitive changes, and they've teased Battle Pass stuff. And they've said nothing about PvE other than, haha, it's coming.
If they had anything to show,
nothing.
I think they would have.
Yes, exactly. They have nothing to show for it because there isn't anything to show for it.
Yeah, that presentation alone kind of solidified that, PvE is kind of done for, because they had like a little reset in 2023. Like, we're just going to put all the focus that worked previously, which was the PvP side of Overwatch. And I think that was also one of the reasons they wanted to show us all this stuff, just so they said, yes, that's our commitment.
If we don't get a solid PvE, like even just once a year, after all we've gone through, like it's so over.
I mean, they downsized the PvE a lot anyways.
I mean, they did, but
Half
like
the shit you were supposed to do, it was supposed to be a mainstay game mode. It's just kind of a side thing now.
But here's the thing. I know we said in a previous episode that it's basically archives. But the thing is, the last hope that we have is that at the very least it's coming out more than once a year. Please, Blizzard, anyone, just say it's not coming. There's going to be more PvE in 2024. It's not going to be once.
I mean, I'll give
Honestly,
I'll give you this, Jazz.
honest,
I'll give you this, Jazz. Maybe it's every 10 months instead of every 12 months.
It's so
honestly, for me
dumb.
personally, I've come to accept that PvE just isn't a thing. Like, they could never release a PvE thing ever again, and I'd be fine because I've accepted that it's just not going to be a
Be
good
miserable. I would be miserable.
What was pretty ironic is, like, when Trials of Sanctuary came out, people did really like the whole, being able to, like, upgrade your heroes, get like brand new abilities or passives. It's funny because Aaron just said, maybe we'll consider adding those in future PvE content. It was like, Aaron, are you serious?
Fucking dingus. That was the whole plan.
Honestly, I if they do decide to actually keep doing PvE going forward, I want them to just do it in the form of PvE events like Trials of Sanctuary and the like Underworld mission we got.
But like I live for the
invasion
because I live for the cutscenes.
Yeah, but like the proper story PvE missions overall just were not good. They just weren't. The gameplay was not that great. There were some cool features like the enemies having the different parts you could blast off of them. That was a nice little feature. The story bits were nice, just seeing the characters interact. But by and large, it's like I feel like they're wasting their effort if they want to keep doing things like that. They're better off just doing smaller scale things that they can just periodically release as parts of events.
Ironclad was an incredible mission. That was so much fun.
It was.
Oh,
it
yeah.
was. But I'm not confident they'll be able to replicate that.
But I mean, like, the fact that it seems to be the one that they did last makes me think that, like, that might have been the one where they got their footing. Because, like, the other two, they just were, like, fumbling for 4 years.
Well, I do want to point out, we do actually know that there's one mission missing, and that is the one involving...
Zenyatta.
There is Zenyatta, and also the one... Now, we don't know if these two are connected, but essentially it's a running through one of the Indian maps, I believe.
Yeah.
It's
Sarabasa,
yeah.
Thank you. It was a Widowmaker. You know that very famous scene that they showed of, like,
the one where Widow goes across
like,
the screen and they're playing as Zen and they're like, huh?
Yeah, so we do know that that's at the very least coming, and it's presumed that that will be the next PvE centered mission.
And we also have seen the cutscene of like Genji meeting Zenyatta, and we've seen a leaked cutscene of Moira and Sigma.
That's fake. That was confirmed.
That was confirmed fake. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. Goodness. I know there was from BlizzCon Line, like way back in 2021. There was also like some other cutscenes we have yet to see. I think there was one that potentially took place in New York.
Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah, because there's a lot of skyscrapers there in that preview.
But Jazz, as you were gonna say?
Oh no, I wasn't gonna say anything. So essentially, that was the end. So we know that that's eventually coming, but whether or not they're going to be sequenced differently, unless they scrapped it, and that's the reason why we didn't see anything else.
I have no idea. Like, at this point, all I'm going to say is that if PvE doesn't work out, we need a TV show. Like, like.
I mean, speaking of, this is actually a really great transition because.
Well, we have to talk about the reworks of competitive. Come on, that's like.
Bitch, what are they gonna do?
We actually know
who here gives a shit about competitive. Okay,
no,
who cares?
No one anymore.
We don't do competitive, and we don't like the battle pass.
If you're here and you were here for the competitive news, I'm very sorry, but we don't care.
If you're listening to this podcast and you care about competitive, go watch the Group Up podcast. Go give SVB some love.
No.
They're gonna cover it way better than we
Oh
ever
yeah,
will.
we're just
especially
some
on
filthy
competitive
casuals.
level.
The
We're
only
just the
thing I only care about
we're the
Emerald
casuals.
weapons. Emerald weapons is all.
No, they
we
look
can just
awful.
bring
All
up.
right, moving on.
I
Ugly.
haven't, I haven't even seen them.
Oh,
They're
I sent
ugly.
it on the
Fucking
BBB
ass.
check.
They're
so
disgusting.
bad.
They're disgusting.
Hold on, someone send me this.
I sent it.
Oh yeah, okay. Oh.
And I'll just also show you the new competitive UI in case you're wondering, and that'll be it.
Oh yeah, we also
Here you go.
we're gonna
Dude, they did it, guys. They made it Overwatch 1 again, but like still slightly worse.
we're going
Yep,
to
there will be a slight MMR reset that will
fun.
happen yearly,
Oh, okay.
and your competitive. There's also, even though it's not SR, it'll actually show you how you're ranking up or ranking down based on what you did. Like, for example, you were on a kill streak, or you were calibrating very well.
So it just shows you the MMR modifiers for any given match, which really we should have been able to see. And we were able to deduce with the SR system from Overwatch 1, but like, yeah, I guess that just doesn't matter anymore.
Oh, also,
Put
wacky
that
hard
shit
light
over there.
weapons. Wacky hard light weapons.
Yeah,
Oh,
but
plus,
I don't care.
okay,
there
no,
will
that's-
be-
They should just
Season
allow. They should just allow any skin that has a weapon to be swapped to another skin you own.
That's fair.
We can
Yeah.
So
dream.
like that system just seems really dumb, predatory, and this seems like a weapon skin that they forgot to make a skin for.
Fair
And
enough.
keep in mind, the new Emerald weapon, it only could be spent with the new competitive currency they're adding, which is like the Scion color. So the old one you have all saved up, you can't use it for Emerald.
Oh, whatever. Okay, fine.
All right,
good.
well that's really it.
Wasn't using it anyways.
My
Never
my
had
poor-
it to begin with.
My poor segue found dead in Miami.
Anyways,
I had the perfect shot. Oh, we're talking about lore. Let's talk about Overwatch Declassified.
Yeah, you skipped like 4 topics though.
Yeah, come
That's
on.
not a segue. That's you driving off a bridge to get to the street below.
Ian, I want to go to bed. It's getting late.
Okay, we'll speedrun this.
and we are
Speedrun.
halfway through. Come on, let's go.
All
Uh,
right, so Declassified.
It's good. I don't know. I haven't really read it, but I've heard there's funny stuff like how one of the God programs was built in fucking Bridgeport, Connecticut, which is like 10 minutes from where my dad grew up, which is really funny.
Congratulations, your dad made an AI.
My dad barely
That
knows
will
how to
destroy
turn
the
on.
world.
My dad barely knows how to access Netflix. I don't think there's much concern for that.
No wonder they went awry.
Yeah, fair
We
enough.
also
Oh, there we go.
learned, we did also learn about how the whole soldier enhancement program worked, and there was about 100 participants. Only 40% of them made it out alive, including Soldier and Gabriel. So
Bro, it's
there's
just
potentially
Yes.
other super soldiers out there.
it's
Potentially, Soldier 69 will be seeing the light of day.
bro, it's
Yeah, the
literally
Mohawk guy from that old picture.
it's literally
Oh, yeah, he was mentioned in there, so he's still
Really?
around.
bro, it's
Yeah, I
him.
think we even
Wait,
got to
wait,
see
wait.
a new picture of him.
Wait,
So-
maybe Mama Hong is also.
I don't
So-
think she was mentioned.
Anyway,
bro,
We
it's
did also learn why Reinhardt was forced to retire too.
yeah, but like, bro, it's literally the Spartan
Yes.
program from Halo. It's like they just copy pasted. They just like they didn't give them the armor, but it's just Spartans.
also, to be honest, the soldier enhancement program is also another reason been popped up. That's also another reason. Like I feel like Reaper gets a bad rap. That's cool. What on earth? He's like a super soldier, and then he's fucked up even more by Moira. That's so cool. What do you mean? Anyway, whatever.
Fair enough.
He doesn't do anything but like make edgy noises sometimes.
Grumble. Yeah.
Yeah, but that's just the Reaper, you know.
Yeah.
You can see what I mean by like
Gabriel
Reaper,
Reyes is
like-
a lot cooler than Reaper, you know?
Yeah, but like they're
Genuinely.
the same character, but it's also very clear that they want because like we still don't know why Reaper kind of did the weird switch. We don't know if it's a case of like is it a personality change? Did he have morals? A disagreement? We still kind of don't know. It's still kind of like up in the air. So, you know, I'm kind of sad that like it didn't really go into it too much with Overwatch Declassified. But again, it's probably because they want to save it for an important like plot point later on.
Yeah.
So. Whatever, but like this Overwatch Declassified so far has like proven itself to be really interesting,
Yeah.
and it's so nice to actually have like some concrete lore for Overwatch because it's always felt, you know, sometimes it's so rare that we get this, so when we do, it's so precious, and it's a lot of fun, and especially because I think they really sleep on how fun and interesting the lore can be because of how like inherently Overwatch is very different from other sci-fi universes because overall this is a utopia that's being threatened, you know, and I
Yes.
think that's very interesting.
A fallen utopia.
Well, like there's still parts of it that's still excellent and great and good. It's just slowly getting worse, and it's the whole shtick of Overwatch is like, let's fight before it gets worse. You know, let's
Right.
fight. This is the reason why we're fighting. It's all the good parts, and we want to continue that instead of allowing it to get worse, which is so uplifting and hopeful and nice. So I always really like getting more lore and stuff like this. So
But yeah,
I'm happy.
what else is there in there? Because I actually haven't read it.
We did
so what else is there?
learn about the Blackwatch mission they went on in Hanamura and how they got Genji. And plus, more of
Yes, so we know-
Gerard's doing, which we even learned that, like, basically everyone hated that Gerard was, like, marrying Amelie Leclerc, which they were right.
They were right, but not for the reasons they thought.
No,
Yeah.
they did not expect her to get kidnapped, brainwashed, and then sent to murder him. That was not something
Yeah.
you expect from a judge of character.
Yeah, it's also been, it hasn't been confirmed, but there has been hints that the whole soldier program is actually kind of led towards things like Winston and Hammond over in the colony, bringing it all back, baby. That like maybe they could have been, their research could have been used on monkeys, apes, hamsters. As it turns
Yo,
out.
soldier
And that's-
resulted in Winton. Let's go.
We did it. There is good reasons for soldier lore. It's Winston.
Winston.
How's it hanging?
What else? We also got more input in, as we know from the shorts that were released earlier this year, like in the summertime. What was it called again? Oh, what was it
Genesis?
called?
Are you talking about Genesis?
Genesis,
Genesis,
yes.
yeah.
So we learned from Genesis that Anubis, or some of the AI could have changed because of the fact that, well, they were programmed to essentially save the Earth, and they were like, humans are the problem.
Well, actually,
Mercilessly kill
that
them all.
was just Anubis. That was just Anubis. Anubis was Anubis was the AI for
That's-
ecology.
That's what I mean. That's what I said. Anubis, the AI.
Oh, sorry. I thought you said they all the AI. No, sorry.
No. So like Anubis, so the AI went, yeah, let's like, we're doing green stuff. Anubis was the one who went, kill everyone.
So I'm trying to remember. There was
Now,
there was the one in Bridgeport that was for communication and internet. There was the one in, I think it was Helsinki, that was for military. And then there was one, was it Mexico City? That they had the one that was like transportation and stuff like that. I think that was what it was.
Wasn't the Mexico
Oh, I
one
don't
power related?
No, that
Was
might have
the
been it.
whole
Yeah,
Power
'cause-
plant in
'cause that-
Dorado.
yeah, and the bank as well. That's
Yeah.
the
The
reason.
numerical
The
thingy.
like pyramid.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Huh.
Did they specify it was Mexico
Although, like,
City, or
wasn't-
did they just say
wasn't that
Mexico?
specified that, like,
I can't remember.
green energy though?
Yeah.
Because like all of them were. I assume like the reason why I was like, well, they were all part of like different conservative purposes.
Yes.
They were all dealing with different aspects of conservation,
Right.
and Anubis kind of went, humans are the problem, so let's kill them all.
Which the other god
And, that
programs
resulted
didn't
in,
like,
the Omicron
which I
crisis.
remember.
To be fair, humanity was asking for it when they named the thing Anubis. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
God program named after the god of death? Yeah, guys. Seems real.
perfect name for the ecology AI.
Maybe. Yeah. I feel like Terra or like.
Actually, it's shove up glasses. God Anubis is the god of funeral
Yes, I know.
and protector of graves.
So Osiris would have made
the-
more sense.
Yeah, so
Curse of
So,
Ra.
it's very much like a Anubis is
Yeah, they called it Anubis.
something related to death. Yeah, he's evil, and it's like not really.
They called it Anubis because they wanted to make it a jackal statue. I'm convinced that's why.
I mean, it's a sick looking statue. So
Yeah.
Yeah,
fair
Yeah, maybe
enough.
they
Nice.
made the statue first, and then we're like, oh, we should call it Anubis.
Yeah, probably.
I mean, it's
Well,
also
we
a
know
case of,
what
like,
type of people like to program things, so I guess that was just their fursuit.
I mean,
Nerds.
What?
What?
That's their OC, Anubis.
Anyway,
They're
so,
furries? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah.
Okay.
the furries caused this. The furries caused the Omnic crisis.
I knew
Anyway.
it.
Anyway, I kind of assumed that it was just because Temple of Anubis was the first map that they made, so they wanted, okay, like, let's make one of the big bads named after the first temple that we did. So
Yeah, it makes sense.
Yeah,
the
I'm
first
sure
map
there's
that
a
we
lot
did.
of like retroactive stuff happening here where it's like, all right, we already have a god program named Anubis in terms of like Blizzard writing the story. Like I'm sure it started with Anubis as like an AI, and then it went into like, oh, how do we want to work this into the lore? Oh, god programs. Oh, conservation type stuff.
Did they mention if Athena is a god program?
I don't think she is.
No.
Yeah.
No. Because she has a god name, so I was like, is she the one based in Greece? I
Just
have
a
no idea.
coincidence.
Yeah. All right. Well, that's
I
interesting.
mean, like Athena being an AI has been like several years.
Yeah, it's been a.
Don't know.
We have no idea what Athena is.
I do know Euclid Visions had a very interesting theory, and I'm so sorry we should have asked him to come on here, but like, I mean, the place is stacked anyway, so
Yeah, and he's probably busy anyways, working at the bar.
I think we're fine.
Honestly,
But,
we
he
could
made
do
a
a
very
whole separate
interesting theory
podcast about lore.
that, like,
Yeah, we could.
Yeah.
yeah, okay. Let this be the last thing I say, and then we start, getting onto season 8. We're still not done.
Yes.
So the
Almost halfway there.
Oh.
Do you know the same program of the I think it's SEP? Is that the official name for it?
I have
Of
no idea. What are we talking about?
program that Reaper and Soldier, they were all in.
Oh,
Enhancement program?
SEP? That sounds right.
I don't know if that's. I don't know.
Enhancement. Thank you.
uh,
Wasn't
Okay.
there an official name that came out? Really quickly, Google, everyone. SEP, Overwatch.
Do I really have to sit up?
You mean
do
the
I have
Soldier
to sit
Enhancement
up?
Program? Or
Yeah.
something else?
Oh, there we go. There we go. They put out a theory that could could other characters involved in that program be connected. So, for example, he put out it was maybe Ilari with her incident because one of her family members, be it her mother or father, or just in general their parent, maybe could have gone through this program. Could that have affected her accident? Or stuff like that.
Oh, that's interesting.
It's very interesting. I think the soldier program opens a lot now that they're exploring more about it. It opens a lot of like, ooh, wait,
Yeah,
how
that
does
is
this connect
interesting.
to other characters.
Alari
Especially
having
because
connections? What?
emotions seem to be the key to the powers, which leans more into the direction and her
Yeah, fair point.
incident.
Fair point.
Makes you think. Anyway, Declassified, very interesting.
Oh yeah, Farah was a
episode
mistake.
for it.
That's funny.
Oh yeah.
Side mention, Far was a mistake. No one was
Far-
surprised.
Yep.
All
The
right.
Overwatch League.
Yep, the end of the Overwatch
Oh.
League.
I love
The
how,
official end.
like in typical Overwatch League fashion, it went out with absolutely nothing.
They went out with like a sigh.
Yeah.
And what's funny is that there was an AI generated image just like showing the end, and it didn't go out too well, and the tweet was deleted.
Yeah,
But luckily, we still got the image.
it's pretty funny. It's pretty funny. It's
Several
especially-
penises may be found on the image, and you will be warned.
yeah, there are phalluses
Let's just say
in the image.
someone of official position that we will not name, created an AI,
An AI image, yeah.
generated an AI image of two people holding hands across many toys, and there certainly are interesting toys.
Why did they
In
have
the
to add
background.
toys? I don't understand what the toys are for. Like, what's
No
the?
idea.
I don't know. Question the person tweaking the freaking
I have
what the
the
AI has
prompt,
to put
yeah.
on the screen.
I have no idea.
There's nothing to question. It's literally a garbled mess.
So yeah,
And I
Overwatch
love
League.
how the shirt is like really badly like photoshopped with the Overwatch print.
Yes.
The Overwatch logo.
It
It's
looks
so
so
bad.
bad.
Yeah, the
Oh
logo.
man.
Um.
Oh man.
Oh, and what was even more funny, actually, literally yesterday, to those people who lost their jobs from the Overwatch League, they were quote unquote confiscated by having some very interesting sprays and icons, which I will be sending over
Confiscated?
in the chat.
What?
Compensated.
Oh, compensated.
Confiscated.
Yes,
Thank you.
Overwatch players and Overwatch
Yeah,
League
I
staff
sent it over.
members
This
will
is
basically
what they
get
got.
items.
Oh, it's just like the awards. Okay.
Oh, Proto,
these are
you
only
gotta be
available
fucking
to those
joking.
people
No
who
way.
played in the league and worked
That's
for
what you
them.
get? That's what you get? Wow. All right.
Yep.
Does,
So congrats.
Participation award, you get a sticker.
You get a gold star.
You devoted your life, have a sticker.
Oh, it's literally the you tried meme.
it's
Yeah.
it's pretty tragic.
No.
There was an
Oh my
attempt.
God.
But yeah,
Participation award. You participated.
You
I
know what the
survived
funniest thing
Overwatch
is?
League.
Avast will get that, and that'll be the most appropriate award he's gotten.
oh yeah. Well, actually,
I'm so sorry you lost your job before Christmas. Here's a sticker.
Also, if Avast hears this, I'm very sorry.
Yeah, I know this sucks, but hey, congrats! You have one of the rarest sprays and player icons in the game.
thank you for
And
your
if you don't get
service.
it,
Thank you for your
complain
service
about
to
it.
the Boston Uprising. I appreciate it. But yeah. So the end of Overwatch League. This is
No fanfare. No one was surprised.
Yeah.
Absolutely no one complained.
This was, I think, an experiment in futility. And thank God it's over.
How long can you reanimate a corpse? That was kind of the
Yeah,
question
that
with
was the
Overwatch
experiment. Because it was so flawed from the beginning, and then COVID fucked it up, and then the game just sort of died, and then Overwatch 2 came out, and it was like sort of a thing that they got excited about, and then the game quality just continued to get worse because, fun fact, Overwatch doesn't actually make for terribly exciting competitive viewing, because
Unless you're really into it, there's kind of just nothing going on that's
Yeah.
decipherable.
because at the highest level it's almost always going to be a mirror, and it's just sort of a jumble of shit going on. It's like there's hype moments, like the classic shatter on from the hunters.
Among
Yeah. The hunters on Anubis, like that's a
There was
classic.
nothing more. Okay, if you ever want to have a good time watching OWL, and I know this is going to sound crazy to not fans of GOATs, but the GOATs era is probably the most hype I've ever been for an Overwatch League match.
Yeah, like there's
I watched most of them, and I was like, oh man, can't wait to watch another GOATs mirror.
like Goats was like, the funny thing is that looking back, Goats is probably the most exciting meta we've ever had, because it was just so wacky and just so like just a clusterfuck. It was so good.
It's peak Overwatch.
And like there
Can I
was
say?
like, but like the thing we're talking about is like a clip of this like professional player on the Hunters who like didn't play Reinhardt, and yet
He only played ball.
he only played ball, and yet he picked Reinhardt, got in there, and just like shat on them, just like.
They went from a meme team to absolutely pounding against the best team in the league.
Yeah, it
And
was
one of the most heroic moments I've ever seen.
And what makes it is that it was covered by the legend himself.
Not officially, though.
Not officially, but it was covered by the legend himself, Sideshow, who is very funny. So, yeah, that was we never Boston.
At least
Yeah,
the
I'm
grand
very sad about it.
finals.
Boston Uprising.
At least
don't
it
sound
ended
very
on
sad
a
about
very
it.
good on a good goodbye speech from Zoe,
Yeah.
which was
Oh yeah, this meant a ton to Zoe. But yeah, no, it was a time. I'm not going to say I was a huge fan of Overwatch League, but it was a time. There were some funny moments.
All I can say is I think Overwatch League has a very weird
As a what?
Weird history.
Oh, yeah.
I think I'll look back on it fondly. Has a weird history.
I think I'm going to look back on it as an experiment that had some success, but was ultimately bad for the game.
Yeah.
It's also really forced.
And really forced.
It's way too forced. Just let it.
I mean, they have said that they want to revitalize building our vision of a revitalized esport program.
Yeah.
Whether or not they're coming back with essentially like Overwatch League 2, I don't know. We will have to wait and see.
I think.
However, okay. You go ahead.
Oh, I think it's more likely that what this means is they're gonna like continue doing stuff like the World Cup.
Oh yeah, the World Cup was definitely a lot of fun to watch.
And like
I didn't
calling
watch
all
it this
heroes
year.
and stuff like that. I think that's probably what they mean.
Mm-hmm.
Calling
Yeah.
all heroes is a more exciting idea because it's just kind of it's better pickup games basically.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And kind of official.
Yeah, and it also gives people who never got the opportunity to like play professionally to be a part of it really.
Yeah.
So
All I can say is that like as someone who was like a very casual of Overwatch League, I'm sad. I'm definitely sad that everyone kind of lost their jobs.
Yeah, that's the
as
sad
well.
part.
Especially all those champs that would host the Overwatch leagues every year
Yeah.
and rarely ever change. Fair play to you. I'm so sorry that this happened to you. And while I lost interest in Overwatch League, especially after Gigori left and after her treatment, ultimately I do have fond memories and I am very sad. But ultimately it is what it is, and hopefully they can take this and learn from it and be better. And that's all we can. That's all we can hope for.
And Ian, I presume your thoughts are fuck all.
I couldn't give a shit.
Yeah.
Man, hey, at least you contributed and like just telling people, hey, go get some skins in some Overwatch League promo. And come on, that was you that voiced that guy.
That was pretty cool, yeah, that I got to do that.
Wait, what?
Oh, you didn't know?
No, what is this?
Send him the link.
Will
You
do.
can play it in the podcast if you want.
Yeah. Hold on.
What the fuck is this? What am I about to encounter here?
You're about to witness something amazing. Hold on.
Bear witness, alright.
Please let there be
Sure.
elevator music every time we go to search.
I mean, if I can find
something.
decent elevator
editing.
music,
Or better
perhaps.
yet, just edit the downtime out.
Oh,
People
you know,
searching for links.
But that's
No,
That's not in the
I'm
spirit.
actually having a hard time.
No,
It's
edit
fine.
out parts where we literally don't do anything.
that's not in the spirit. It's all for
Hold on.
That's good.
No,
okay, if you're gonna
there.
edit in
Five-
elevator music,
If that
Okay.
is in the spirit,
Yeah.
I will look up elevator music that's as cursed as possible while still being elevator music.
All right, now we need
Found it.
elevator music for while he's looking up the elevator music.
All right, here
Oh,
we go.
Here we go. Let's see.
Can you confirm if this is you?
I will now play.
I mean, at this point, I don't think I have to be discreet about it. So.
We have some amazing in-game rewards on the horizon.
Oh yeah,
A bright ray
Oh,
of
yeah.
sunshine.
That's,
this season's playoffs and grand finals.
that's Ian, alright.
I've never heard you say anything about Overwatch League with this level of
I
enthusiasm.
know that guy.
I hope the paycheck was decent.
It was good enough.
I'm glad to know you at least got a paycheck.
I
for it.
feel like this must have been painful for you to say anything decent about Overwatch League.
No, it was actually really fun. Because I've never done like professional voice work, which is basically what this was.
Oh,
Yeah, hearing
That
you
was, like,
go
really cool.
Full advertisement voice is very different.
yeah, it is. There isn't like the aspect of contempt and and
Not even your
and misery.
sponsor for Raid Shadow Legends. Listen.
Oh yeah.
Kidding.
Oh, the sponsor. The days of the sponsors on Ian's videos. Those were
Maybe
fascinating.
coming back.
Are they? Okay, cool.
Assuming I ever get a good sponsorship offer again.
Fair enough.
They'll give you
Sponsored by
pennies.
OnlyFans.
They would never.
Oh yeah.
Now they don't want Ian.
Come on. Okay. You show off your Lego collection, your Bionicles.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, sure. Yeah.
Can we please get on to season 8?
Yes, we're going on to season 8. We're going on to
season 8.
Animated short, A Great Day. We were talking about how Overwatch needs a TV show if they're gonna not do the PvE well, and honestly, I think they need
do for a TV show.
I think they need a TV show regardless.
What would they do with it? Just
lot?
like silly antics.
Dude, there's a million things you can cover. With like, do you know how much shit there is to cover in the Overwatch lore? Like, they could.
Ness, I don't wanna, you know, call you out, but what did the world, what did the it wasn't World of Warcraft? What did the League of Legends players say before Arcane?
I don't know what they said. I don't listen to League of Legends players.
They basically said it's impossible. They'll never get the lore.
And they got the lore right. Yeah.
Yes, I know.
So
like,
I don't see Overwatch successfully doing it. And if they do, I would be very impressed.
It would be. I'm going to be honest with you. It would not be hard, because the Overwatch world has so much potential and there's so much stuff they could do with it. It's like, dude, they could do almost anything and it would probably work pretty well. Like, even if it's just sort of sometimes sort of shorter stories like A Great Day, dude, so good.
I mean, even we have said, like, even though we're not huge fans of Genesis, like, it was mostly because of how it was broken up, like, very needlessly, rather than, like, the content itself. We still enjoyed it. It was still a lot of fun for something that was, like, 5 minutes overall that we had to wait for, like, a month.
It's funny that, the first part, the countdown itself was longer than the first part.
Yeah, it was.
I remember being in Ian's stream
and just
I streamed that
and leading up to it. Yeah, you did, and it finally got on, and I was like, oh Jesus, finally! And like pretty much the chat said the exact same like sentiments. And then it was about 5 minutes long, and it ended, and everyone was like, what?
Wait,
where's the rest?
That's it?
That's it. And I could see just the I've never seen disappointment and speed before, but chat managed it. And I remember thinking to myself, like, why not just have it all together? Why break it up so weirdly? But anyway, having said that though, A Great Day is fantastic, and it's easily the best thing that they have released this entire year. I am astonished by the fact that they tried to hide this. Why?
It's so good.
Fantastic.
It's so good. Like, it just, and it does such a good job of like portraying the personalities of everyone in it. Like, Mauga is like this loud lunatic.
It's simple. It's clean. It doesn't overstay its welcome. It doesn't understay its welcome. It is perfect. All you want, and like that's the thing. Like that's why I'm amazed that like there's no like TV show or cartoon, because you can do these really simple like missions, and they'd be so much fun to watch because you've made characters that are very interesting and made very interesting dynamics. So like, why not, take the opportunity and use it? But it's so good. Like the way that Sombra and Reaper work together, showcasing that they are a team and they've at the very least bonded over the course of joining Talon. However, they're very out of sync with Mauga, who kind of follows the beat of his own drum. The fact that, again, circling back to what we said at the very beginning of the episode, with Sombra clearly not trusting Mauga because she knows that Mauga is not, like, even though he's pondering around, she doesn't trust him. Which is very funny coming from Sombra, of all people, who is very openly backstabbing Talon.
Well, I mean, to be fair, I feel like
to get whatever she wants, and she doesn't trust Mauga, so that makes you think.
And to be fair,
it's so interesting, and it's so good.
And to be fair, I think Sombra like knows well enough that like she's working with a bunch of shitheads, like you were saying how like she's a good judge of character, and I think that's exactly why she doesn't interact a ton with Reaper outside of like quips.
But you can tell by the way that they fight together that they at the very least trust each other to cover each other's backs, which I think is very interesting, especially because Reaper, he kind of seems like a very, he doesn't really say much, so you can tell that that's how they bonded they've bonded not in terms of like personality, but in terms of like on the field. At the very least, they can trust each other not to backstab each other.
I don't know. I feel like there's no reason for Reaper to really trust her. Especially after Infiltration.
Have you seen Infiltration?
Yeah, I was just gonna say, I feel like there's no reason for Reaper to trust her.
Oh, but like he does now, because they've had more missions together, where she hasn't been a complete shithead.
Okay, fair enough. We don't know about that.
Well, yeah.
Reaper doesn't know that Sombra fucked up that mission on purpose.
Yeah, it was only Widowmaker saw well, it's kind of alluded that Widowmaker saw it, and even at that, it doesn't seem like she's done anything with that information, which could be a case of like she could be using that to her advantage, she could be revealing that later, she might not care because it's Widowmaker. We don't kind of know because not much is known about Widowmaker.
We also know that Reaper and Sombra were the ones to break Sigma out.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's the whole story thing about that.
Then we also know about like how Sombra doesn't trust Moira, especially along with Sigma, how she protects Sigma, etc., etc. Also, there's another interesting thing of like with the editing, they kind of really cleverly cut away from Mauga, so you don't actually see him do anything, but you know from the result it is from Mauga until you go back and then you see why he did certain things. So for example, at the very beginning in regards to the satellite, you actually don't see him look at it, you just kind of see him walk away, and then all of a sudden you hear bah, 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 and you turn back and you see that the satellite is now destroyed.
No, it shows him destroying the satellite.
No, that's what I mean. You see bam, 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 and then you don't see the connection of like him seeing the satellite saying, I can destroy that.
No, yeah,
you just see him randomly shoot fire at something.
Yes, that's true.
And you're like, why? So it very perfectly puts you in the position of Reaper and Sombra until the reveal later on, and that is showcasing that like Mauga this entire time had a plan. Like even when like Mauga was like, do you take suggestions? And Reaper was like, no, we don't. And he's like, okay. And he like girlishly giggles as he runs away. and the main assumption is like, oh, he's crazy.
Which I mean,
but in fact, he's actually going further in.
Yeah,
to steal something.
Which I mean, he's crazy.
a lot smarter than he looks.
I mean, he is very smart, but he is also crazy. We can't deny that. It's
perfectly showcase. It's like a really good showcase, like Mauga's from their point of view and what he's actually like and how that makes him dangerous. And also, if you notice, looping back about Sombra, she smirked at the end there, so she might be like, I might use this to my advantage. He's not a dummy. I might use this to my advantage. So it's very...
Yeah, it's entirely possible that this might...
Ooh, it's juicy. I love...
It's entirely possible that this might have been Sombra's first mission with Mauga.
No, that it's pretty much heavily implied that this is the first time Mauga anything in regards to Talon, because of how Doomfist talked about it, basically saying, keep him under a leash, you gotta keep an eye on him.
What do you mean? He's been in Talon for years.
Eh?
Yeah.
Yeah. Did you read his backstory on his website? How he even joined Talon?
No, not with this
team.
With
this team, because he's always, with Baptiste.
Yes, on this team you're correct.
Remember?
Yes.
He's always with just regular fucking grunts.
Yes.
Yeah. So like this is what I mean. That like this is why like Talon is like a little bit odd to talk about, because like there's Talon the organization and there's Talon the actual playable characters. So that's what I meant by like Talon
like the elite
playable
squad.
Characters.
Yeah.
Not so like he was basically for a very long time he was like the random grunt that you would shoot at. Him and Baptiste were there, and then now he is plucked and basically become like the main squad.
The madman. Yeah.
Yeah. But anyway.
Yeah, it's
it's just
so
funny that Talon is double crossing Null Sector.
I mean
that's quite interesting.
I mean, we always knew that was going to happen. Like it was
the whole thing.
It was always kind of obvious that like Doomfist is using Ramattra, and Ramattra is being played like a fucking fiddle.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
Yes, and Ramatra thinks he is using Talon.
yeah, when like Ramatra has no control over what's happening here. Like, honestly. So, especially since in the short story it's pretty heavily implied that like most of the people around him, other Omnics, want nothing to do with him. And so, yeah, it's, he's getting played like a fucking fiddle. It's, yeah. But, yeah, so it doesn't surprise me. I think a lot of it we know is that, Doomfist is using this crazy Omnic, basically, to get access to their technology and cause conflict, which is what he wants. That's the two things he likes. Advanced technology and wars.
Mm-hmm.
It's
Advanced wars.
It's perfect. I can cause my insane genocide this way.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, I'm not surprised that there's a betrayal going on, because there was never anything to not be a betrayal. Like, yeah, but I think it's interesting that that's the theme, like the setting they went for, especially since it's confirmed that this is the one that we shot down in Gothenburg.
Yeah.
Which is an interesting little touch. Yeah, so that's, I also, one thing I will say is, I think this was the best performance that Sombra's voice actor has had yet.
Well,
And she's always been very.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
Very good.
currently my profile picture at the moment.
Yes. Like, I think this is the best performance she's had. Like, the opening line of just like, "Where's Mauga? I'm gonna kill him," is just like so good.
I genuinely love, like, I referenced it already before, like giggling as he runs away and Reaper goes, "Mauga!" And he sounds like the way he says it is so funny.
Yes.
To me, it's the gravelly voice, but he genuinely sounds like an old granny,
Yes.
like getting really angry that the
I mean,
child
he
has
is
just run off.
60, so
And there goes
Oh,
the
man.
crazy lunatic giant Samoan off to do whatever the fuck he does. And I love how he gives the thumbs up to the camera. It's just like, oh yeah, he's doing his own thing.
Yeah, it's
it's funny how he just
so,
simply
and
yanked
honestly, if
that
you guys
core
haven't
out.
seen it, please watch it. It's so good.
It's so good. And you're right.
Yeah,
It's
neat.
just,
Why not?
he just yanks
Yeah,
it.
while
Like-
us and Rio just had to shoot it. Like, damn, it was that hard for us, but
things are-
Mauga, he just did it like it was nothing.
These ships are designed like shit. Like, it's just like the most like important parts are just like sitting there in the middle of like a hard white case. It's just like, okay, sure. It's like leaving the nuclear reactor of your submarine in the fucking bridge. Like, it's just whatever. But yeah, that's a great day. I don't know. Ness, Ian, what do you have to say about it?
It was pretty good. I mean, like, I agree with everything you guys have been saying. It's phenomenal. It doesn't try to achieve a whole lot. It's pretty simple in what it's telling about the characters and the story of it, and I think it executes it phenomenally. Like,
And I think that's
there are
where
no flaws
Overwatch-
with it, basically.
I feel like that's when Overwatch shines. Is when they keep it simple, and they don't overcomplicate it. And I think that's what causes the charm, And I think they do it so. Like, I always think if you can do something well, that's all you have to do. You don't have to reinvent the wheel.
Oh, it's
And
so
I feel
funny
like
you
it-
say that, because that's the exact philosophy I'm gonna have when we talk about the Roadhog rework.
That is actually we might as well, like, I think, like we said, our pieces about like Great Day, so
Yeah.
that might move us on to kind of the meat of season 8, which has started off with a lot of controversies. I'm not gonna lie.
Oh yeah.
So we have 2 controversies pretty much back to back. We have the Orisa mythic skin, and we also have the fact that there's kind of 2 battle passes for Christmas. So
Oh, my
let's start
favorite
with
Christmas
the Orisa
gift.
one. Before we do that, my favorite Christmas gift, greed.
Yeah, you didn't mispronounce it there. It is a Christmas grift.
How Conic so Christmas.
Yeah.
I haven't seen what we're talking about. I was looking at my soup that I just kept cooking for a little too long.
Okay, give us a one-word thought on or a one-sentence thought on A Great Day.
I haven't seen it.
Oh.
I thought you were gonna say, give us a one-word thought on soup.
No. Okay,
I mean, you have more words.
You have to watch this animated shortness.
Please, Ness, we beg you.
I might.
As soon as this is finished, we are watching it.
We're forcing you. We're gonna tie your hands, your legs, everything, and just have your eyes glued into that.
You'll never catch me alive.
Anyways, Arisa.
Oh. Yeah. It's the first Mythic skin where I'd say it's shit.
It's a scam. It's a scam.
Worse than Hanzo's, in your opinion?
Yes.
Yes.
It's literally.
At least Hanzo, at least it looks Mythic worthy.
Yeah, like
visually.
This Mythic skin is just like roided up legendary skin that she already has. And
Roided up Mega Soma.
Yeah, and then they just like you can like slightly change the gun and you have different colors. And
guys,
this
is the first Mythic skin with 4 color palette.
Yeah.
Oh, it's amazing.
And
revolutionary.
And she also has some funny sound effects, which all of them do, so
yeah,
your
and they
excuse
built
doesn't
game mode around it.
Yeah, your excuse doesn't fucking work, Blizzard. Because that's what they said. They're like, oh, the reason there's less customization is because there's so many special effects on it. It's like, have you...
Sigma, Genji, Junker Queen.
You guys literally made the Junker Queen, like, skin. Like...
Well, that one also doesn't have a whole lot of customization.
So...
Did you guys know that the Cyber Demon Genji skin, and I guess like all those early Mythic skins, have so many customization options that there's actually a scroll bar on the side of customizing it in the hero gallery?
Yes.
Yeah.
I completely forgot that until I was getting some footage for my video tomorrow. And I went back to get some Cyber Demon Genji skin footage, and I was like, oh my god, there used to be a scroll bar on these. That's how much there was.
And
we've had so little customization for so long that I completely forgot that was a thing.
And even the one on Genji isn't like a crazy amount.
No.
But it
there are
does
4
change the
categories.
texture. Yeah, I think honestly the more surprising one on the Genji one is the fact that you can change the tattoo.
Yeah,
that's a pretty crucial part of the design.
Because it's what? The face, it's the mask, it's
you can
the sword,
change the mask,
it's the shuriken,
you can change
it's
the
the skin.
tattoos, you can change the sword, and you can change the color into 3 different variants.
Yeah. So, it's not a very good Mythic.
The problem I have is that, like, I like the skin on a technical level. Like, it's a nice skin, but it's just so deflating once you realize it's a Mythic skin.
Yes.
And then you notice, oh, it's very aesthetically similar to another skin, and it has the exact same, the very first, the main color palette they chose and they showed off, is very similar to that skin as well. And I just don't think it does it any favors. So I think, if looking at it in an isolated place, it's very nice. It's a cool skin. It's just when you add in the fact that there's no customizations, it looks similar to another skin, it both in theme and also in color palette, it just gets so disappointing. And the thing is that Orisa has such a cool design. Like, I'm going to say something spicy. We had a leak today in regards to concept arts and concept skins.
We did?
And we also recently had another controversy where someone pointed out the sheer amount of skins that Kiriko gets versus someone like Baptiste. And in these recent leaks, she's pretty much on every single slide. And I'm like, you give Kiriko every single skin under the face of the earth, and yet our poor Orisa gets this?
She's just the new Mercy. She's the new Mercy.
I did see
She's the poster girl for Overwatch 2.
I saw that theory that, like, someone said, like, is Kiriko, because Sojourn may have not have hit that well in terms of the public, is Kiriko the new poster girl for Overwatch 2?
I think she is. Kind of is.
And Astro,
she's on most promotional material. They kind of keep her in a state of perpetually being good, but never, like, broken.
Look at that fucking
She started-
Mauga skin on the top left. Holy shit. Give me that right now.
Isn't that one of his new
No.
No, I sent the concept
base
art
skins? Am I
on
correct in
the
this?
BBB.
I could. No.
It's
I
not a
could've sworn
skin in the game.
I could have sworn that Ian showed off like a magma.
Yeah.
Yeah, he has a magma skin, but this is different.
It's blue.
Oh.
It's blue and the
Yeah, this
guns
is like
are
a
crazier.
Ragnarok like rune skin.
Yeah, and the guns are
Ew.
crazier.
I saw it from very far away. To be fair,
Yeah.
like not just like the same skin but blue. I'm like, oh.
Oh,
I'm
this
looking
this
into
reminds
that.
me. Oh well, you guys wouldn't know it. In Yu-Gi-Oh, this kind of looks like a Phantom Knights card or a Sprite card, but
I play
if
Yu-Gi-Oh!
any
and
of
I
our
don't know what
fans
that
know
means.
anything about that, I'm guessing they don't. Good luck.
I can't
Anyways,
go 1 minute without you referencing Yu-Gi-Oh.
No, yeah, I literally can't.
But yeah, she does. She definitely does suffer the same problems as the other post.
just an entire category of
showcase.
cat
So, like,
girl
for example,
skins.
year 1 it was Tracer. Then it was Mercy, and then it was Genji, and now it's Kiriko. And I don't know.
It was Divas as well for a while.
Diva as well for a while as. But
I mean,
it kind of seems like they also want to get a lot of more Mei skins, which I'm not going to complain. I don't think Mei gets a lot of skins.
Look at
He has a bunch of
Baptiste.
skins.
Baptiste and Zarya were kind of lacking for quite a bit in Overwatch
Sigma
2.
also tends to get
Mm.
scammed, as does Bastion.
All Bastion too, yeah.
Because
no, sorry, Cassidy.
Yeah, I see what you
I
did
saved
there.
it. I saved it.
Let's cancel her.
I saved it.
Hashtag Jazz Party.
Chicken
Jazz-
McMahon.
Yeah.
Just call him Chicken McMahon.
Cassidy hasn't gotten a. It's been a.
He hasn't got.
He
Well, he's got
had,
an epic
like-
skin.
Skin.
Yeah, he also got a few good legendaries. Space Pirate,
Wait,
Invisible Man,
Whoa,
that Null
whoa.
Sector skin.
Whoa! Pause. Ness, when did he get a mythic skin?
He didn't. I said an
He hasn't.
epic.
I got
Oh,
Epic.
sorry.
Yeah.
Epic.
Pardon. I thought I heard mythic, and I was like, wait a second, did I miss an entire season?
And on Overwatch 2's launch, he got a skin, but that's it.
Yes. And also more recently, his formal skin for the winter event.
Oh, that's a good skin though. That is a good skin.
Yeah.
We'll get to it.
Oh yeah, we will. Yeah.
I will agree with Ian. I love the cats. I love the cats. I love Cat
Cat girl
Reaper, and I
skins.
love Cat Bob so much.
That's
Cat
wild.
boys.
All right. Well,
Yeah.
interesting.
I also love this like Mercy, like weird horror Mercy.
It looks like
It's so
Bloodborne.
good.
It's very Bloodborne.
Yeah, I was about to say that they're like Bloodborne-esque skins.
But
Do you
actually,
know the concept of like a Bloodborne but masquerade? It's so good.
remember, it's literally in the book.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know. That's the one I was referencing. I
Yeah.
was like, I really like that. It kind of reminds me of that. For those who don't know, Astro got like a From Software book, fan made, of course, and one of the sections was basically like, oh, Bloodborne 2, what would it look like? And one of the concepts was essentially Bloodborne but set in Venice,
Yeah,
and it was so good.
it was very good. So,
But yeah, it's very disappointing with Orisa. I think it gets worse when we get into double battle passes. And
oh
such.
yeah, the Winter Fair.
So Ian, do you want to kind of explain this? Because even I'm confused. Ian?
So
Oh, he's alive.
what they're yes.
Second battle pass? What?
Yeah,
Yes and no. It's like the event specifically has its own like mini battle pass type thing, but it's not exactly a battle pass. Basically, remember back in Overwatch 1, there'd like when there'd be like the Winter Wonderland event, there'd be 3 weeks that it runs. Each week you could unlock a different like epic skin by completing 9 wins over the
yeah,
course of that
the mini
week,
events.
right?
Yeah,
It's like that, except instead of earning a skin for getting 9 wins, you earn tickets. And then those tickets are used to purchase skins and or other cosmetics in the like ticket exclusive winter shop.
yep.
And are the tickets available for free?
Yes, but you can get 4 times as many tickets if you purchase the premium Winter Fair Pass,
So they're not free.
which is $5.
cool.
Evidently,
fuck
you can
yourself, Blizzard.
earn. Evidently, you can earn one legendary skin by completing the free track. Which the unique thing about this though is
Oh my
that you
god.
seemingly just get to choose which skin you want, as opposed to just, haha, this is the one you get.
Yeah.
The
It's like,
very
oh,
fucking-
I want Cassidy or Baptiste. I like Baptiste more. You get Baptistes.
I'm gonna feel sorry for anyone who goes for Kerrigan Widowmaker.
They're getting scammed, like actually.
Yeah.
Just play the game years ago. Let's suck it.
Just go back in time. It's that
Yeah.
easy.
Yeah, just dip into a time capsule.
Pretty
Now,
funny.
personally,
Somehow.
I don't hate this Winter Fair thing. I think this is an interesting thing they're experimenting with. Because the alternative is that you would spend $20 for any one of these skins. Or you spend $5, play the game, and get to choose a skin. It's like,
Well, but Ian,
it's
as a
objectively
person that
better in
already
terms
doesn't
of the
buy the battle pass,
alternative.
I do
Yes,
actually.
Okay, but you wouldn't. So why does it matter for you? You wouldn't be spending money and getting any of the skins either way.
Listen, no matter what, we just get fleeced.
So, can I ask, what's the story with the Mercy skin? Because I know that's like the
It's
top
a
of it.
it's a
isn't it?
mercy skin. I don't know.
I think it's
The
just
winter
shop
one?
skin
Yeah.
by the look
Yeah.
of things.
Yeah,
The-
that's just a
the-
shop skin.
the
That's not
obvious-
part of the Winter Fair.
Ah, okay. That's where I got.
how is that not
confused.
part of the Winter Fair? That's literally
Only Winter Fair skins are part of the Winter Fair. There are also still shop exclusive skins, which of course are the better skins.
Yeah,
cool.
Yep.
So you get nothing.
correct.
You get a skin.
You get to
Yep.
you get to pick between the shit ones.
Yes.
Yes.
Cool.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Some formal Baptiste and Cassidy
that's
skin.
that on that.
So there's
Every
0
color.
battle pass skins that I like, and there's like maybe one in the Winter Fair one. So
Well,
cool.
that's great. All you gotta do is play, get the free tickets, and then you can get that one skin you maybe like.
But I have to complete the whole thing to get one skin, and you have to complete like a fourth.
Or
Yes,
you could just
and
spend your
are you
money.
not gonna play the game enough to just get the tickets anyways?
Probably
Literally
not.
just playing. Well, that's on you.
Anyways,
I mean,
I'm so indifferent to it. Like, I don't know what the controversy is. Is it
The
just
fact
like
that it's
we get fleeced
even
more?
done at all.
Like we get fleeced more. What a surprise! Like,
But like we're
I
not
believe
even.
I believe the controversy is the fact that they had the cheek to essentially have another mini battle pass.
okay, okay.
Yeah. And like I get that. I get that people look at it and they just see another thing that Blizzard is trying to get you to spend money on. I understand why people hate that.
To spend
So,
money on and grind
doesn't-
for. It's not just spend money. It's spend money and grind.
I think it's also, spend money, grind at Christmas time.
Yeah, that's
No
true.
one got time for that.
Not it's not only do you not have the time, you already have the money. It's a little I can understand where people are coming from, that like you picked the busiest time of the year for, earn all of these skins if you just play, but wink wink, you can do it easier by just paying, and I
Yeah.
can kind of see it. But at the same time, I don't think it's the worst. But having said that, the bar is also in hell, so I don't know.
Yeah, true.
The
Yeah,
bars in
I
hell,
really don't
they-
think it's a bad thing. I
they
think I
jump
like
over
that
two
they're trying
circles.
I don't
something
really have
different
much
with
else
this.
to say on it, because I think like especially given the fact that they've said they want to rework things like competitive and the battle pass, I think this is a worthy experiment. I just think it's bad timing, and also again, it's just kind of like, I can see where people are coming from with the fact that like it's basically a mini battle pass, which is a bit weird, especially during a battle pass you'll probably want to get, given the fact that there's Mauga in it, and two, given how busy it is, given how tight money can be, I can see where the controversy comes from. I just
Yeah.
don't think it's that big of a deal. But
Mhm.
anywho,
I mean,
Anyways.
personally,
Well,
for
that's-
me, I kind of like the idea, since
Since,
it does give me a lot more incentives to even play the game
Since
more.
you already dump your entire paycheck into Overwatch cosmetics, anyways.
Of course. I mean, I did just spend $400 to get advantage of that deal.
Yeah.
So, I mean, come on, hey, it was a good deal. That'll last me for a while.
Okay.
So, fuck it.
The silence.
I know it's an unpopular thing, and I might have contributed ABK to do more of it.
Listen, as long as you're okay with the fact that everyone will shame you for having the paid skins, it's like in every game.
I just hate the fact that now the coins are on the menu, so I can't hide it anymore.
Yeah.
You can't hide the shame.
Well, I think it's annoying that they're on the screen because it's a constant reminder that that's what the game's about now.
Yeah. Anyways.
Yeah. Hold on.
Also, so now moving along, I don't think we have that much to say about the Winter Fair. And I think the Orisa skin kind of says for itself. It's a bit shit. Roadhog rework. It finally came out.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, we
it
haven't
sure
talked
did.
about this yet, have we?
No.
All right, Astro. Who wants to throw the first punch here?
I'm gonna throw the first punch. Fuck you guys. I think it's good. I think he's fine. He can still one shot. He still has the hook, and it's okay.
Thank you, Ness. All right, thanks for fighting for me.
I'm going to throw. I'm going to throw the hook back.
Have you
in
played
every
it?
sense of the word? I have played it.
Have you played it?
I have played it. I've put a good 10 hours into it. It's just, listen, this is the way I'd put it. If this was the Roadhog we originally had, this would have been fine. But I play this Roadhog knowing that previously we had something so much better. And so it's like the whole issue of things, the way things used to be. Like, if this is the way that things had always been, this would have been fine. It's fine. It's a good character. Sure. But we had something so much better, and they just overcomplicated what was, as Jazz said, you didn't need to complicate Roadhog. Roadhog just did this thing, and this is what he did, and there was no need to overcomplicate it, because effectively, as Ness says, you can still one shot with it. It's just they've overcomplicated it. It's
I think they actually simplified the firing. You can both do the range damage and the close-up damage with the same button, which is ingenious. The trap just kind of exists. I forget it exists a lot.
Yeah, but that's sort of what I mean. They've overcomplicated it, because there's a button that a lot of the time you're gonna forget. It's I didn't forget because I was constantly being reminded of oh yeah, I have to do this. But compared to the flow of the old Roadhog, this is just so overcomplicated. It's I gotta put this down, I gotta position this way, I gotta, do I have the resource up to heal right now?
Astro.
Do I
it's
have
more than one button?
Do I have
all require different inputs?
Do I have the vapor? It's and then I have to hook it, and I have to get him in the trap, and then I have to land. It's fuck it. The way it used to be was I pressed the button, I hooked them, and I killed them, and that's such a much more simple and rewarding system than having to fucking jumble fuck around to do what the hero did anyways. I'm not going to say it's a bad design. It's just a worse design than what we had. And
Astro, some of us prefer to have video games that are more than just a point-and-click adventure from the early 90s. Almost nuance and strategy and interactivity with the characters we play, other than just looking and clicking a mouse button.
Now listen.
Jesus Christ, the PvP has been with us all along.
Now listen. I understand what you mean, but while I don't agree with Jazz that really complicated heroes are necessarily a bad thing, when you have a hero like Roadhog, which is so simple, it's
But he isn't complicated now. He just has one more button.
I'm aware, but
and he has one fewer button. He has the same amount of buttons.
No, I'm aware, but it was so much more interesting to have instead of having some trap that I forget about half the time, just this kind of weird ability where he has a gap of effective range, which I thought was kind of interesting.
He still does that. He still has a gap.
What do you mean?
Well, his effective range is still close up and mid range.
But that's what I'm saying. That's the way that Hog used to be. Was you had close up, and then you had sort of long range, but no mid range, which I thought was interesting.
It was good at a range of how many meters? 15-ish?
It would activate after 15 meters. Yeah.
Yeah. So mid range.
Yeah. So, but there was a gap there where you didn't really do anything, which I thought was interesting because it forced you to play a little bit more anything else but standing at a single range and firing, which is something I'd find significantly less interesting. I also find landing the shots of the new gun significantly less satisfying because it's like, oops, I hit you with a singular piece of shrapnel from a little distance away, and it like did a decent amount of damage, so it did kill you, but like there's nothing that's as satisfying about that. It's just like landing a meaty right click on original Hog. Like it's just like there's no comparison. And
I'd say Hog's previous primary and secondary were more complicated than this one.
Primary and secondary, I will agree. But what I think is more is like needlessly complicated is like the thing that Roadhog does, which is hook you in and kill you. And
yeah, he does that still.
He still does that, but they've just complicated it. Like it's.
You mean complicated it? You press the shift button, you walk forward a micrometer, and then you shoot, and then the character dies.
I mean, if it's a tracer, sure, but
no, a tracer on a.
No, it does not work on. It does not work on.
I'm currently playing Hog. They all die.
What sort of magical shenanigans are you doing?
You're just not aiming right.
I played the character for 10 hours and
10 hours of playing it wrong.
Like I know how to play Roadhog. Like it's just like
you have to aim slightly different. You have to aim more in the middle now because that's where the big pellet is, that does the most damage. In the middle of their head, preferably.
That's exactly what you do. That's always what you've done. You always aimed for the neck, the chest area, like neck.
Oh no!
Chest.
Now you aim closer to the head.
You said it needed to land in the chest, like center mass.
That's what Old Hog did.
No, I can confirm. Nest did say you have to aim
for. You have to aim for the head now, basically.
Yep.
Their big pellet.
Get it.
But it's like. It just feels overcomplicated. It's not as satisfying. It's not as meaty. The hook doesn't feel as like brutal, and nor does it feel as effective. And the trap is just sort of whatever. It's I don't know. I played him quite a bit, and I didn't get many one shots. It's not particularly fun. I'm willing to try it again, but it's I don't know. I feel like I can literally just summarize it as like they just sort of overcomplicated the hero that was so simple. Because like I don't know. I also am not a big fan of the resource on the vape. I think it was because I know that the issue they had was like, oh, he's too survivable. You just made him more survivable. Like the vape was on like an 8-second cooldown, and he was really hard to kill in that section. And other than that, he was just fat. and that was it. Like I've genuinely felt that it was easier to kill him before. Like
it's a lot easier to kill now. He dies a lot faster.
How? What would literally the fact that like he had these big gaps between his healing in the original version made him so much easier to kill than he is right now. Like,
well, now if you anti him though, it's not a question of has he used his vape. You just attack him.
Well, yeah, but I mean,
and he dies.
I mean, yeah, but that was always the case, really. If you had any good timing on the anti on him, he wouldn't get the vape.
Yeah, but now you don't have to time the anti. He just dies regardless.
Okay, but I'm saying like even without the anti, like excluding anti, right? He's significantly harder to kill now. Like when I'm playing Mauga and I'm dumping ammo into him, it's like I can tell you for a fact, like really as any character, I can tell you that like for a fact that like the fact that he can heal basically whenever now with the damage resist is going to make him harder to kill. Like that's just I don't see how you can logically like come to any other conclusion.
But can I just be now? You guys know I don't have a horse. Shut right.
Okay.
But I want to, in regards to the healing, isn't that good? Because isn't that one of the problems that Roadhog had, was that he was just a big fat guy and he meant to soak up damage but couldn't really compete with other tanks because being a big fat guy who just ran in there naturally he died a lot. So wouldn't this extra survivability be good?
I would say that you could make the argument for that, but that's not what Hog was about. Like, Hog, was fat. That was his thing. But, mostly what Hog did is that he tanked by killing things. Like, the reason why Hog was survivable was because he killed you before you could kill him. And that's how he tanked. It's like, the way I would put it is, Roadhog was a more fair Widowmaker. That's
a more fair Widowmaker.
Yeah, actually, that's the way I would put it. That's the way I would put it, because you could interact with Roadhog. Roadhog is huge.
That better be the clip right at the beginning of the.
No, he actually was
a more fair Widowmaker.
He was absolutely a more fair Roadhog because he had a limited range. He could only do it every 8 seconds. He had to be relatively close to you. He was fat as fuck. And, he wasn't super hard to kill, but, he was, there were easy ways to deal with it. And he's huge. And it's easy to dump things into him. Meanwhile, Widowmaker's miles away, one-shots you every 0.8 seconds. You can't get to her. She moves constantly because of the hook. Roadhog can't do any of that. He was literally a more fair Widowmaker.
Okay.
That is flat out just true.
Okay. Other side, your opinions?
I don't have much to say other than I would say I'm glad Roadhog is definitely a lot more helpful around teammates this time around, because I feel like Roadhog previously was a more selfish hero to play if you just don't give a shit about your teammates at all. Because his trap did certainly could actually help, coordinate some things, and I helped protect an Ana once from a Genji just by having that trap back there.
Okay, that aside for now, can anyone deny what I am saying here? Because...
What? That he's more fair Widow?
Yeah.
No, because he is still that.
No. He still could be frustrating to play against.
He still does the exact thing that you described. He still hooks someone and kills them.
But nobody can deny this, is what I'm saying.
That he's kind of just a Widow, kind of.
But, a more fair Widowmaker.
Yes, but, so is Hanzo.
Yes, but that's what I'm saying.
Hanzo, Ash, Ana.
Everything else aside that I've been talking about, is this not a hot take?
No.
Yeah, exactly.
Mm-mm.
But, the fact that you don't, I don't know, it's just kind of an okay rework. Not that I really care anyways, because I don't like playing Hog. And I still don't.
Yeah, it's just... I don't know. I don't know what else to say besides it feels like they've overcomplicated the character, and 10 hours in I can tell you, yeah, that's sort of what it is. It's not as satisfying, nor is it, as kind of, charmingly simple.
Mm-hmm. I will at least give them this. At least they're still maintaining... with the reworks they've been doing lately... They're still finding a way to maintain their whole character identity. It still feels like them.
Yes, I will give them that. It does still feel like there's an essence of Roadhog in there, even if it feels sort of bastardized. But it feels like it's still there at least, which is significantly better than I was expecting. So, honestly, I'm willing to go try out Roadhog after we're done with this.
Mentioned that you're a huge... Ian, I know you mentioned you're a big fan of the rework. What are your thoughts and opinions, especially after hearing Ash's?
I think he's just more engaging to play now. I think they simplified Roadhog's kit. They streamlined it in a really nice way that feels really good, while at the same time making him more engaging, by giving you more
nuance
tools
as well.
Yeah, and I think this just kind of sprouts from a difference in what we value in heroes, because Ian really values much more nuance and stuff like that, where I just enjoy pressing funny button. It's
he's no longer a one button character.
Yeah, which I enjoy one button characters. So I think it's just a difference in preference.
Yeah, I like toolbox heroes that give me options to solve problems.
Which, to be fair, was also what was so great about Doomfist. But I think you can have in a singular game heroes where what's great about them is that they're nuanced, and others where what's great about them is that they're single button heroes. I think you can have both.
Yes, but now there's one tank slot, and having one button just wasn't doing it.
Really? He was doing fine.
No, bro was dog shit.
I mean, people were saying he was busted. They changed him because everyone thought he was
'cause,
busted.
like, he one-shots people. People get angry when they get one-shot.
They're still getting one shot. Like, apparently what you're saying,
like,
they're still getting one shot.
He dies now, though. That's the difference. He dies a lot.
Yeah, he does. That's true. As I said,
He dies a lot more easily now because his playstyle kind of forces him to play with his
No,
team
I don't think he
more.
dies more easily, but I think he does still die. Like, I still think he's tankier than original Roadhog. But it's... Because, like, he can just kind of constantly keep himself up, whereas Roadhog originally had to get in and out. Which was interesting, because he was so slow. So you had to be real careful. Which, to be fair, that could have been considered the nuance of the character. It doesn't always have to be the mechanics of the character that makes them nuanced. Like Mauga, for example. Anything else?
No, I think we've said everything we can about Roadhog.
Yeah, so I think we can come to the conclusion that it comes down to a difference of preference.
Comes down to personal preference.
Yeah.
I can definitely say that like the reworks have been far more successful than past reworks.
Yes,
Even
I agree with that.
even as far as like Overwatch 2's launches, I feel as though these recent reworks have been very fun, very engaging, but not overwhelming in terms of like meta or anything like that. I don't think it's been too crazy. So I think the game kind of feels like it's in a good state, which is very rare.
I will say though that I think the issue right now that we're encountering broadly is that because this is not the balance and design team that originally made these heroes, right? There's always going to be a disconnect between like what the heroes were meant to be and now what they're making them.
I mean, to that I say is that it's a game that you play online that constantly changes. If you're not down with change, then I don't know what to tell you. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like
Also,
and this might be coming from someone who often has their characters reworked. So I might be biased there, but also it's like I don't know. It's an online game. They were going to change anyway. Like, and that's like the purpose of the game is to change. So
yeah, I suppose that's fair then, because like I hate games that constantly change. Here's
Overwatch.
It's like the reason that
Overwatch
that
all the time.
I know that's why Overwatch I have such a short patience for it. It's always on a thin leash for me. But because again, I think we all know this very well. A singular patch can ruin the fucking game for me.
I didn't want to sound accusatory or anything like that, especially because I don't play Roadhog. I don't have much stake in this, except for like, I don't know, I played it. I thought it was fine. I thought it was fun. That was the beginning, middle, and end of my thought process.
That's fine.
But a lot of your argument kind of came down to, I just didn't like the fact that they changed Roadhog, which is kind of like...
I mean, there's definitely... there's an aspect of that.
Yeah, and like, I feel like that's fair, but also I don't know what the developers could have done to satisfy that. So
because they didn't have to change him. I genuinely don't think they had to change him. I think he was a really good design as it was. And like if I feel the change is justified, then fine, change is good. This change did not feel justified. That's the thing. It felt sort of empty. But that's the thing. A hero doesn't need to be good to be fun. I mean, like...
No, but like he was an active detriment even in quick play.
I've never understood that complaint. People will go on and on about Roadhog and Doomfist, but then like you talk about Widowmaker and suddenly everyone's defensive. Like it makes no sense to me. Like if you're gonna have a double standard, then like go ahead, but don't make the character that like is objectively more fair the victim of the meat grinder. Like it's because like I don't know. Again, as I said, you know, and I think this is exactly what Jazz means by like I don't like that they changed him. If this was the way Roadhog was originally, this would have been fine. But like we just had something better. At least in my opinion, I think we just had something better before. So I'm willing to give him a try again after this, but it's 10 hours in. I didn't. The spark was not there. Anyways, state of the game. This is our last little topic here.
I can't say much because I honestly haven't played much.
I think that the support role is in a really good place. The DPS role is okay, even if it's not
It's just really boring.
super diverse in what is being played right now. And the tanks continue to sort of be a clusterfuck. That's sort of... that I don't know how else to put it. Like, I don't know. Does anyone have any objections to that diagnosis?
Does anyone have
it's
anything
pretty
direct?
spot on, but at the very least, the game is still fun somehow.
Yeah, I'm amazed I'm still here after 7 years.
The opinion I have overall is that the game is fun right now because the game is fun right now because Mauga's in it. Like, that's sort of it. Like, if Mauga was not in this game, I would not, and I have not been terribly interested in playing it. Like, I've been playing DRG almost exclusively. So like the fact that Mauga is in this game is like, you know how like Sigma's one shot was like the single thing anchoring me to this game for ages?
Now it's Mauga.
And now it's Mauga. Like, it's, as I said, I'm always on such a thin leash with Overwatch nowadays. So it's like, as soon as that last little thread snaps again, I'm off to DRG and I'm not touching the game. So it's like, you know. But it's, I don't know, I feel like I still have so many gripes with the tank role because I feel like they're still very inconsistent with it. And it feels like they're constantly trying to go in 12 different directions, which I think is fine if they do it on a hero-by-hero basis, but they're like taking clusters of the tanks and going off in 12 different directions, which I don't think is good. And and I agree with you, Ian, that I think we should like have genuine worry about like a Wrecking Ball rework.
No,
They're gonna murder him. They're gonna ruin him. It's
Oh yeah, if they
inevitable.
touch him, they'll ruin him. But they just won't touch him. This is perfection. I don't know what they.
Wait, why do you think they're gonna rework?
They've said they're looking into
Hey,
reworking Wrecking Ball.
There's an interview.
God.
If they rework
Oh,
Wrecking Ball, I will stop playing.
It's like
Oh
It's
no, I
literally
missed
one of the
that.
only characters I play.
I missed that. Oh no.
they literally are so obsessed with normalizing all the characters
why do you
because
think,
they
especially-
don't understand them.
They're gonna put his
Well-
ball mode on cooldown and like a limited duration. I guarantee it.
Yeah, they're
Well,
gonna
I can't
normalize them.
wait
Like
for
Bastion,
Ball's
like
hero
Roadhog,
design to become
like Doomfist.
public domain and someone else just make a game with them.
Yeah, exactly. They're gonna normalize them. Like, as I said.
Well, no, Overwatch will cease existence and then someone else will play Ball.
Yeah.
All I gotta do is live for another 100 years until Overwatch becomes public domain,
Just
and
keep
then
preparing
Wrecking Ball
yourself,
can be
Ian.
mine.
But that's.
Don't worry, Ian.
But like.
Internet public domain
Just keep
won't be
preparing
here
yourself,
for
Ian.
long.
But truly, I think that them trying to normalize every character because they weren't the ones to design them is a actual genuine fucking issue. Because like we've already seen that, like, you know, at least in my opinion, this just happened to Roadhog. This has happened to Sigma. This definitely happened to Bastion, and like they absolutely did it to Doomfist, I think, to the most extreme degree. And I would not be surprised if they're coming for Wrecking Ball next. Like, because everything unique and fun must be eradicated from this fucking game, I guess. Like, it's just... That's a very cynical take, but like at this point, I've seen it over and over and over again, and I'm like a war veteran with the 1,000-yard stare.
Okay, so there is a timeline where they rework Wrecking Ball, and they don't devastate him. But
No, there
the
isn't
only
one.
things they can touch are his adaptive shield and his quad cannons.
Yes,
If they touch his grapple and his ball mode at all,
and the
ruined.
the
Ruined.
ground pound, yeah, the pile
And
driver.
the pile driver, yeah.
Pile driver, grapple, ball mode, fireball are the best things ever designed in Overwatch.
They have to
in my
keep those.
opinion.
Yeah, like
And
like
if you touch them, it's over.
the
He isn't a character
the
anymore.
pile driver allows for so much crazy fun tech that like. Yeah, if they touch any of that stuff, the
If
characters
they touch
just
even
ruined.
as little as the movement speed in ball form,
Yeah, it's
over.
fucked. Like, this character is so complex, and as I said, like, I like complex characters when they're done well, and like, there's so much nuance to Wrecking Ball. It's like, there's no way you can touch much about him without fucking him up.
Wrecking Ball is one of the only characters in the game that is so fun to play. You can hop into practice range and play him for hours, and you won't get bored.
Yeah, it doesn't even matter that he's bad right now, honestly. Like, I know, Ian, that you've been frustrated with that, but, like, genuinely, I don't even care that he's bad right now. He's just fun. He's always fun.
Yeah, and that's enough.
That's enough for me.
That is enough for me. I'll keep playing him. If I have to go ape shit to even compete at Plat, I will.
Yeah, exactly. Like, it's like why I always played Overwatch 1 Bastion no matter what. Like, I was frustrated. He was so terrible that he needed something, even if I'm not happy with what we got. But, like, I was having fun to the end, so, you know, there's a limit to it. If the character is so bad that eventually you just can't have fun, that's a whole different thing. But
like, Ball was such a well-designed character, Fortnite put it in their game.
Really? Okay.
He's mechanically just a genius, like, concept for just a playable entity.
Yes.
Just fast ball that can grapple to things and swing around and knock others around. Like, oh my god, that's such a fun idea. And they did such a good job with it initially. And they're gonna ruin him. They're gonna ruin him. They're gonna kill my little boy.
Ian now exactly understanding like what I'm feeling every time I see like
I can't wait for Ian to make a video making this is why I quit Overwatch, and Wrecking Ball is just going to be the #1 thing.
My hamster's gone.
They're gonna take away my ball, and then I'm gonna be nothing but a filthy Kiriko main.
Ian,
your viewers want you to turn into.
Ian, you are literally going through the exact thing that I've gone through like 7 times. And I'm just gonna tell you, it doesn't get easier.
The cycle starts.
It doesn't get easier.
Look. Maybe it'll be another Moira situation where they look into reworking the hero and ultimately don't.
And hopefully another Pharah situation, because if they fucking reduce Pharah's
I don't care what the hell they do to her. They could remove her from the game, and I wouldn't give a
No,
shit.
I care. It doesn't matter what the character is. If like they're going after base identities like that, fuck that. Like that's unacceptable. I've always felt that
Watch
way.
them like entirely rework Pharah, and then Space Ranger just becomes Pharah but a support.
Yeah, I could see that.
I can't wait to see it. It'll just be like Mercy Space Ranger fanfics.
It'd be like taking away Risa's barrier and then giving it to Ramatra.
Yeah, that's basically what they did.
I was do you know what? I was thinking it, but I was going to keep my mouth shut. But she mentioned it. Yeah, I was pretty that.
It's a less toxic barrier.
Just ripped it away.
They could have.
I still think Torbjorn had the best rework of all time.
Yes, Torbjorn got the best one. I think
This is really good. Yeah.
Torbjorn by far got the best rework they've ever done.
Unfortunately, I'm quite a bit of a sim enjoyer.
Oh yeah, I mean,
but only after she got reworked. So like original sim mains, I am very
they
sorry.
can't tell what the fuck to do with that character.
I'll raise you, Diva, to a point where people don't even know that she got reworked.
Oh yeah, no, that's true.
People keep forgetting that.
Fair point.
And then she got reworked, and then she's been reworked twice.
Yeah. So I mean,
yes.
Yeah.
Initially, Defense Matrix was a 10-second cooldown ability.
Oh,
and then they gave her
you
the
mean
missiles.
like a cool? Okay,
then they
fine.
added the resource system, and then they added the missiles and lowered the barrier a lot.
Yeah. So yeah, I think that's it. Overwatch 2, it is chugging. It's the engine is broken and the train tracks are rusted, but it is still going.
No, it's not the train tracks are rusted. The train tracks aren't there. They're being built.
Yeah, they're being built. They're like the train is like constantly slightly tipping over and threatening to just crash, but it's chugging. So yeah.
Oh my God, Diva just doesn't get slowed down now.
By what? Shooting?
When
Yeah,
shooting.
I know.
So weird.
I know. Anything else, guys?
No, this is it.
Not really. I think we basically
Covered a
said everything we had to say about the state of the game in general.
Now, to be fair, we didn't touch on the announced Battle Pass changes back at BlizzCon.
Right. Well, they didn't really have too much to say
Yeah,
other than that. If there's a mythic skin you don't really like for that particular season, you could just swap it out and grind for a previous mythic skin that you missed out on.
Yeah, which is
It's literally the Halo.
it's just the Halo system. Yeah. So yeah, whatever. Anyways, I think that's it.
Yep.
Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening this whole way through. You get a gold star for this.
You
And a
get
big smooch on your forehead.
And please comment
Ooh.
and do that shit, because oh boy, I'm going to have to edit this for at least 7 hours or something like that. And
if you want a participation award, please comment down below.
and for me to not lose my sanity, like, it would be excellent. Thank you. I don't know.
Yeah, for every positive comment we get on this podcast, Astro will mail you a physical participation award.
We
to your
can't
home
just
address,
lie.
which we already know.
Oh, okay.
And if we get hate mail or hate comments, we will send you Zek.
Oh dear, we're gonna send in Zach.
Oh, we'll also send you a free Kiriko Funko along with that.
Along with your
Wait, really? Oh, I need to leave a comment right now.
If you
It's a scam.
If you are toxic in my chat, Diego will send you a bioweapon. So there you go. Yeah, I think that's it. Tell us what you think about Mauga. I'd like to hear about that. So I think that's it. Anyways, Ness, give us your closing statement.
All right, closing statement. Go play Dark Souls.
Based. Bye.
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 Goodbye.
Bye.